5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gamer Words Episode 2. And the gamer word of the day. It's the old grass mud horse, Peter. You know about the grass mud horse?
Yeah,
I do. Famous Southeast Chinese animal, aka Taiwan.
Yeah.
Lives in the grassy plains.
It's just east. It's just east.
Oh,
Well, it
just
doesn't live
east.
here. Yeah. I don't think there's any mud horse here.
Oh, no?
Grass mud horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen one in a zoo?
No.
And how do you say grass mud horse in your native tongue?
That I don't know.
Cǎonímǎ.
I cannot.
Cǎonímǎ.
Okay. We're not supposed to say it. It's gamer words. We're supposed to replace it with gamer words.
Yeah, it is a gamer word. Grass mud horse.
Yeah. See, that's when we're supposed to say it, right? We're not supposed to say the actual word. Like, well, I almost said something bad, but yeah, we're not supposed to say the bad words. We're supposed to.
What's wrong with grass mud horse? I don't understand. Why do you think it's a bad word?
Well, it's not a bad word when you say it, grass mud horse, right? But when you say the original way, that's where it's bad.
What do you mean? Direct translation. I only care about direct translations, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
So let's talk about something we talked about last episode.
Okay.
Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah. There's been some increased tensions, and then Russia's like, no, we're not doing this. And then Russia said,
yeah,
we're going to invade because you're saying that we're going to invade, you're increasing tensions that might cause us to invade.
I think a couple days ago, today is, it's February 22nd for me.
Yeah. So 21st, 22nd. Yeah.
A couple days ago, Russia was saying, we're pulling back troops from the border, but they weren't, and like they were increasing. I think there's 190,000.
Yeah. I heard like 200,000 troops on the border or something like that.
Yeah. It was quite. It was like 160,000 last week. Well, 4 days. I think it's last week. When's our last episode?
Yeah, 6 days ago.
Yeah. It was like 160K, and they said they were pulling back, but they weren't. They were increasing it, and then there's people evacuating like the border towns.
Yeah, like a lot of embassies and this and that, and like countries are saying you should leave, and then Ukrainians are like going to the west more and all of that.
Yeah, and I think there's separatists Ukrainian separatists basically supports.
Well, Russian separatists, Russia, right? Ukrainian separatists, whatever you call them, right? Like the whole.
Yeah.
What part of Ukraine got Crimea?
Yeah, Crimea. Yeah. It's what can you do, right?
Oh yeah. Like, why do you think Russia has been like putting out all these statements like, oh, there's a genocide, oh, there's car bombing? Like, are they trying to justify it to us, or are they just showing their own people?
I think they're just saying shit for the sake of it.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Now, I mean, they know they're doing something wrong. But
yeah. So now that there's so much attention on it, and like the US every day is like, yeah, Russia's going to invade any day now. Do you think Russia is going to like be? It's almost like a mind game, right? Are they gonna stop?
They have no other option than invade, because if they pull out, Ukraine will join NATO for sure. If they do invade, you see, Ukraine signed NATO, so technically, most likely, in my opinion, my uneducated opinion, that the West will not do anything because it's not worth it. So Ukraine doesn't have nukes, and they give it up for like when they signed the.
Yeah, well, I read something today about Ukraine trying to say like we're gonna change our nuclear policy because of all this shit.
Yeah, but they're gonna be run over by then.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they want to invade Ukraine, now is the best time, right?
So you don't think the U.S. will like because they have soldiers kind of nearby, don't they? Didn't the U.S. send some soldiers nearby?
No. There's no. I'm pretty sure there's no U.S. soldier in Ukraine. They have like gear there, I guess, guns. And stuff like for them, but there's no troops there. But there's troops in probably Poland, because Poland is part of NATO, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not really familiar with like the whole like
some of the country there, basically Eastern Europe European countries, but Ukraine's not in it. So Ukraine wants to join NATO, but there's no. The thing is, if they join NATO, Putin's gonna invade, but it'll be if they do and they do join, then U.S. has to act, right? Because they're part of the.
Yeah. Well, Russia would never. Nobody would invade a NATO country unless they really want to cause like extreme conflict.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, we'll see, right? Well, that's the thing, right? Like, could we all be dead next year because of like a nuclear conflict? Like, well, I mean, maybe.
I wish.
Why do you wish?
I mean, it's a great way to go out, I think.
What if you're on the edge of the explosion and you just get radiation? You get radiation sickness. Did you watch
that
Chernobyl?
Kind of sucks, but yeah. It's a good show. It's actually pretty good.
Man, I mean, radiation sickness doesn't look like a good time, man.
Yeah, but at that point, people will probably just suicide.
Yeah,
using ice.
I heard just the other day, yesterday or 2 days ago, one of the other Jeffrey Epstein like model guys hang himself in jail.
Suicided. Yeah.
Suicide. Did he kill himself? What do you think?
Well, the camera wasn't working.
Oh, again?
Ooh,
unlucky.
What a coincidence.
Do you think Ghislaine is gonna kill herself, or?
I think so. I think they're polar enough to just
one after the other.
Bullets to the head.
Yeah.
Rule as a suicide.
Well, apparently, like Prince Andrew's stuff got off without.
He settled. I think it's a right choice.
Yeah. So now he's just out of the.
Even if he is definitely guilty, but even if he's innocent, the right play would be to settle. Right? And there's
that happens a lot. Where it's like,
garbage,
why do you even want to deal with the legal proceedings? And
and you have something to lose. She doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I just want to make sure. I think he's guilty. But I'm just saying, even if he wasn't guilty, I would still settle. Right.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, the thing that bothered me the most out of all of that is where he says, "I have a medical condition and I can't sweat." Like somebody accuses you of raping them. And you say, "What do you mean? The guy was sweaty?" No, it couldn't have been me. What kind of response is that?
And he said he never met her, and there's a picture,
a photo, of
them together.
Well, it's the same thing with the Kevin Spacey stuff that happened a long time ago, where he's like, "I don't recall if I, I didn't do that, but I don't remember, and I'm gay."
And he. And it's little boys. You fucking little boys. You just
Dude, that was like that was like the worst statement of all time.
And you see, he's trying to come back like.
Well, over the years, he makes like a little clip every
he makes holiday videos pretending to be Frank Underwood.
Yeah.
And that show was ruined, but I mean,
it's
whatever. I enjoyed
good actor.
Season 1 to 4. Yeah, I think he's a good actor. I enjoyed him in.
I think he's one of the best.
House of Cards. I wasn't a fan of the gambling one, the one that count cards. I don't know.
I don't recall.
Yeah, it was a movie of.
Who's your favorite actor? Or do you have like a favorite actor? Do you watch a lot of movies in English?
Yeah. Well,
what's your favorite film?
My favorite movie or TV show?
Yeah, I mean either.
I would say for TV show it would be Boston Legal. It's a great show in my opinion. I learned a lot of English from that TV show.
Oh yeah.
And I think I rewatched it a couple months ago. It's still relevant. Like the stuff they talk about is still pretty relevant. And while I know the producer have their own agenda or whatever, I think it's a very fun one. My favorite actor would be James Spader. Yeah, he was in Boston Legal.
Yeah.
And he was in Avenger.
American legal comedy drama. Boston law firm Crane.
Yeah. I think Crane is William Shatner.
Yeah.
I like him in. See, I think I'm not a big fan of Star Trek.
Yeah, I don't really care for it. I mean, it's okay. My father loves it, but it's kind of
I don't know what's it called, but I think the show is really great. Like
Yeah.
up to season 1 to 4 is great.
Mm.
Season 5 is kind of a little not as great.
Yeah.
The prequel, it's like well, actually it's like a sequel, a spin-off of another series called The Practice. It's also another like a legal
Legal.
show. It's
Yeah.
like like what they call lawyers, and talking
Yeah.
about like public defender defending innocent people is like, yeah, it's harder than defending guilty people, right? So they're talking about like, if I lose and I know my client's guilty, it's whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if my client's innocent,
Yeah.
I lose. Oh shit, that's gonna hurt
Yeah,
a
you
lot
feel bad.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why the guy was like, I'm okay with defending guilty people.
I mean, some of
Right?
those American like news stories that come out where so and so was in prison for 20 years and then they're proven innocent. Like, man, that must be such a fucked up life because
Yeah,
you know that you're innocent and it's
yeah.
like, okay, I'm fucked.
And you have to fight for it. If it's me, I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'm guilty. Like, just give me a lighter sentence, right? Like, you know how they offer you plea deals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they say, oh, if you admit it now, you get 2 years.
Okay, so
But
you're
if you
accused of
don't,
murder, you know,
well,
you
what
can you either get the death penalty or you can get a plea deal down to life sentence.
then I'm gonna fight it, right?
Well, yeah, that's what happens, right? Like
Yeah,
recently
yeah.
somebody was
But what if
exonerated for like a murder
what?
that was like 20 years old.
Yeah. But what if it's 25 years versus 3 years in prison if you plead guilty? Right?
I mean,
And like, well,
I'm
the 25
very
years is not guaranteed because if you win, then it's
yeah.
obviously
I'm
0. But
very like I don't know how to word it, like pure in that sense where like I would never want to take a plea.
you see, that's privilege, right?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I can imagine people who are discriminated
Well, yeah,
against,
if you're
like,
black or something, and if you're
yeah,
black and you're accused of like some sort of assault and you know that you're innocent and you
uh-huh.
can plea for like just a fine or something, it's probably way better just to plea.
Yeah, because the people are against you, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so disgusting, but
Yeah. No, it's horrible.
it's
I mean,
just,
it's true, right? It's like,
yeah,
well, like no
yeah,
matter what
yeah.
you idealize, you still
And
live
they
in
know it.
reality.
They know it. Like,
Yeah.
they like arrest innocent people all the time and
Oh yeah,
just
of course.
force them to plead because you're put in jail and then
Wait, you like
it takes
lose
us
your
such a
job,
long
like
time.
even while you're in prison, like where they're holding you or jail,
Yeah,
you like lose your job. People think you're guilty in the meantime. You get fired. Your family leaves you. Like you get
yeah,
so fucked.
yeah.
What
So and they
percentage? What
know
percentage of prisoners do you think are actually innocent
probably like 10.
in the states? Anyway,
Yeah,
obviously in
probably
other
ten
countries,
percent.
10%. Damn. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I mean, maybe
I think it's
that shit is
probably a
horrible.
little too high,
Mm.
but I would say, but I think the better way to phrase it would be how many innocent people that are ruled as guilty um or how do I put it? Just like
This is why you're gonna
they
fail your
plead
English test.
guilty, but yeah. I mean, they plead guilty, but they didn't go to jail, but they
Yeah.
just plead guilty, right? Like
Hmm.
I think a very high percent
Yeah.
of the
Well, yeah, like
guilty.
if you're offered like, okay, we don't have to do this
Hmm.
litigation anymore, the maximum penalty is avoided, blah blah blah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people plead guilty
Yeah, they're just
just
like, fuck it,
to,
man, like I can't be
yeah,
bothered. And they're scared. I
even
mean,
if
in a
they're
lot of
innocent.
cases they're just scared. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, the maximum sentence is 20 years. It's like, holy shit, man,
I
20
mean,
fuck.
like they charge you for felony and they tell you to plead of misdemeanor, right? So
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, whatever, I'll take this.
Yeah.
It's whatever, and then it stacks up. Like there's another TV show I really like to watch.
Yeah.
It's called Life PD.
Yeah, yeah.
It it's like it's a show where it follows police
Hmm.
from different part of the U.S. and it's so crazy to see how many people drive without a
Oh
license
yeah, of course.
and like suspended license, no plates, no insurance
Yeah. I mean
on
that
that.
channel, the guy that does All Gas No Brake, they rebranded to Channel 5 or whatever.
Hmm.
All Gas No Breaks. Like seeing the interviews with the people in different regions of the US, like it's amazing how different they are from
Yeah,
different areas.
and this is why like I just think there's a lot of innocent people that just plead guilty just because it's more convenient
Yeah,
and like less tedious,
yeah, which is
basically.
fucked up. Like it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you think about the idea of bail, for example.
Hmm.
Like bail is such a messed up system where it's like, yeah, if
Yeah.
you're rich, yeah, you don't have to stay in prison or in jail. But if you're
Yeah,
poor,
yeah.
then your whole life is derailed. If you don't have enough money, we're gonna make you stay here and you're not able to work. Like,
There's like bonds person, right? Like you can,
yeah, you can put up like 10% of 10%. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, like your bail is 250K, and then
but you don't get the money
you only
back.
have to post 25K, and then a bonds person will get you out for only 2,500.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you don't get that money back.
Yeah,
So
like you're paying them permanently. Yeah, and
yeah,
the
but
risk is that you might default on their 25K, and then
it's worth if you
yeah,
decide to run, right?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think US is big enough like where you can actually disappear
Oh, for
without.
sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's plenty of people who just kind of disappear like that, especially for minor crimes.
yeah. I think you can just change your haircut and move town, and then
Yeah. Though I
nobody's
guess
gonna
getting new
know.
identification might be kind of hard. In like modern society, like in the last like 5, 10 years here, the
Yeah,
identification systems have become so thorough
really,
that
I feel like it's not that bad if you just if you, I guess,
okay, so
because US
let's
uses.
say I shave my head and
Hmm.
I move to Alberta and I
Hmm.
say I have like no documents. What do I do? And they're like, "Well, who are you?" Yeah, I'm John. I was born in this city and I have no family. I was homeless for
I have
10
no
years.
idea, honestly.
You know, I
I have
say
no
like I've been
idea.
homeless for 10 years. I have no family.
Yeah.
You know, I need some dog. I want to be a part of society now. You know, like, well, what do? They just
Mhm.
issue me a new birth certificate? Like, do they just,
They probably take your DNA and take your fingerprints, like do
uh,
all sort of
fuck.
things.
Well, see,
Yeah. So,
then how do you escape in the US?
well, the best way would
You got to
be
go to a
to
small
steal
town where
someone's.
they don't care about documents.
It's easier if you just steal someone's. Like once you get their social security number,
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say this, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. This
but
view is not supported by, you know, the podcast.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's just
Hypothetically,
hypothetical.
yeah.
Hypothetical. I'm not condoning any of the action,
Uh-huh.
but say if you buy someone's social security number from
Okay.
the dark web,
Okay, I buy somebody's, yeah, and then
and then you go to a like rural town,
okay,
and
small
then
town, yeah.
just yeah, yeah, and just pretend to be that
Mm,
person,
mm-hmm.
and I just moved there. Nobody's
Mm,
gonna know,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
It's probably
definitely
better that
don't do
way.
that. If you commit a serious
Yeah,
crime, do not do that.
yeah,
Don't use the
yeah.
dark web. Don't use, you know, this
Do
specific
not.
website.
Yeah, and I think the funniest thing that I see on the TV show
Yeah.
Life PD
Yeah.
is these people always get caught because they're like driving drunk and they already have like 200
Yes. Oh my god,
warrants.
dude. That is always amazing to me. You commit like these serious crimes or you have these other like warrants for arrest and then you
Mhm.
go out and commit more crime like more obvious crimes. Like are you trying to get
Yeah, yeah,
caught?
yeah. Like, and you're not even doing anything big. You're not robbing another bank. You
Yeah.
just drive drunk.
Yeah.
That's so easy not to do,
Yeah.
right? Like you already got, like you're already running away. Why
Didn't that
you?
happen recently? I'm pretty sure they arrested some like 90-year-old for some murders like 40 years ago recently. And like
Yeah,
he got caught because of something like that.
I
Where
mean he
like
hid for 40 years. That's pretty good.
yeah. But then it's
And
like
I
then
think
he
that's good
commits some
enough.
like he does some like random bullshit and then they compare the DNA and then he gets caught like
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
stupid.
it's yeah. It's speaking of which, we can talk about police in Ottawa arresting the truckers that we
Yeah.
talked about last episode.
So like originally you said you didn't like that they were freezing their assets and stuff, which you
Hmm.
know I kind of agree. Like I think it's a little weird.
I mean,
So
I
now
didn't say I don't like it, but
it's like an
what I meant is
overstepping
I
of
think
power or
they won't
whatever.
like it in the future. I'm
Yeah.
okay with the tyranny in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I,
Well, we
I'm
should talk about
I'm
that.
okay
Like
with
because
it taking on the head right now,
yeah,
right? Because it doesn't affect me. In the future, it
sure.
won't affect me too, because I'm not a activist.
Yeah.
Like I won't.
Yeah, but that's the old saying, you know,
right.
when they came for the truckers, nobody said anything. When they came for when they came for Hong
See,
Kong, nobody
I don't
said
care.
anything.
I'm okay with dying last. It's okay. The thing is, these people that is speaking up for these restriction, like the freezing your bank accounts,
Yeah.
these people are activists, but they're just on the other side. So what I'm saying is, these people will regret that these actions are taken because in the future it will be used against them.
Yes.
But personally, I'm okay with it because you're gonna get fucked. I'm okay with watching.
But don't you
right?
think it might evolve into something worse?
I mean, probably, but Canada is already fucked in my opinion.
Oh
So
yeah?
yeah,
Why
I
is
think
that?
Canada is pretty. I think the government oversteps a lot of
Sure.
stuff, like internet, in terms of like privacy law,
Yeah.
like
But
what
don't
you
you think it's
post on
better
the
to try to
internet.
stop that now then?
I think it's too late.
Mm.
Like both sides agrees. Like both sides thinks it's fine to censor people. It's fine to well, basically just there's not a lot of freedoms compared to US, I think.
So
Like
is it okay to censor somebody who's inciting violence?
I'm not sure. That I don't know. I think
Mm.
I believe in I think it's fine. I think it's fine
To censor them or to not?
to let them do
Well,
whatever.
because my
Like
idea about that is that if your freedom is infringing on somebody else's freedoms, same as last
mm,
time. I think we talked about this about
I
the
think
vaccine.
because who decides when it's over the line? That's the problem,
Oh,
right?
that's the
Because I
hard
don't
part,
think it's
right?
yeah. So I think it's better to just let them do whatever.
Yeah, you're an
When it comes
anarchist.
to it, then if someone breaks a law,
Mm.
like
Yeah,
when
but you can
someone
make the same argument. Who
actually
decides the law? Who decides if it
no
was
no no
broken?
I mean when someone actually start using violence, then I
Sure.
think you arrest them. But if someone's just talking,
Yeah, but what if I'm like Charles Manson? Hey Peter, go kill that guy.
yeah, I mean
So then
I think that
am
can
I
be
supposed to be
decided by the
censored?
judge,
Well,
right?
exactly, right. It's just like it's personal
But
opinion,
see, you can't. Well, I guess, right? And who knows if he did tell you those things, right?
right? Nobody
Like,
can prove it. You know, like Charles
yeah,
Manson is, I think, is very famous for being in jail for not committing any crime, like not directly
yeah.
committing any crimes.
I mean, they put a lot of people in jail for no crimes, right? And the Guantanamo Bay
Yeah,
is
but like I
full
mean,
of
like he got like a very
innocent people.
serious, you know, like here you're like
Yeah.
convicted
I
of
mean,
like this like murder, even though you did nothing.
you see, I'm okay with people putting in jail for no reason, but I mean, I think it's fucked up, but it's whatever.
Mm.
Because
So when China invades, are you going to take their side?
you know,
Yeah,
you
you
see,
seem to have some, you know, similar People's Republic of China, and you have
yeah.
similar beliefs.
Well, not really, but I guess somewhat.
I'm okay with
Sometimes it's similar.
authoritarianism, you know.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think Canada is moving towards it. So I'm like, it's
Now,
whatever.
I think democracy is pretty bad because people are very easily tricked. I think
Mhm.
authoritarianism is pretty bad because people are easily
It
very,
always evolves into tyranny. Yes.
yeah, short-sighted and self-centered. So
Yeah.
then what do you think if you ignored humanity, if you were going to create life on a new planet, what
Mhm.
political system would you want them to have?
I think democracy is good. I think democracy, capitalism, I think it's both fine. I think it will sort itself out. People are gonna die regardless.
So you don't think there's a
And
good solution?
no.
Mm.
And people are talking about, oh, we never tried true communism. We never tried like what it was like. There's no true communism.
Yeah,
What we tried is true communism.
yeah,
Like
well, communism and socialism and stuff. I mean, again, it's like
what they
reliant.
talk about is on paper. That
Yeah,
never works. Like we tried true communism. It just doesn't work because self-interest,
yeah.
greed, whatever.
People are always
That's
going
just true
to.
communism. Yeah.
Yeah, people are always going to be
And
greedy and fuck it up.
I think people are like, "Oh, we should have socialism instead of capitalism,"
Mm.
which is fine, but I think capitalism is fine too. It's just I guess I'm privileged, so I think capitalism is fine because I
Yeah,
benefit from it.
yeah.
I'm not against socialism. I think I think
But that's what I
it's
mean.
a
Like from a pure
decent idea.
perspective, like let's say
Mhm.
like only on paper, is socialism the best? Is communism better? What's the difference between communism and socialism? I don't even know.
Well,
Communism's where
socialism. Well,
people
I don't
own
want
everything, and then
to show I'm a
socialism.
dumbass by talking about it, right? It's like
Oh,
socialism is workers are like it's basically worker owned.
the
How do I?
means of production.
the- Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But then what's communism?
communism, there's you can still have like a leadership in communism,
Oh,
and
so
then
the
like
government still owns things, but it's spread out to everybody anyway?
well, they don't own things, but the people own things. That they I guess
So
it's
what's the
kind of
difference then?
different. Oh, see, I don't want to be I don't want to talk
Mm.
about something
I
I'm
mean,
not
if you don't know, you
entirely
don't
sure.
know. It's fine.
Yeah,
Well, we'll
well, I
study it
know
for next
somewhat,
time.
but yeah, yeah. Well, we can go in depth next time.
Yeah, yeah.
Where
I'll write it
we're
down.
more in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't want
Socialism
to.
versus communism.
Well, you see, I don't. Well, I am just a fan of whatever. Like, I think. I think it doesn't really matter which one you live in. As long as, like you see, people in China that
Mm.
like I think their lives are fine, right?
Yeah, the average, if you're not the bottom 10% or like the
Yeah,
political like 10%, if you're just like a
yeah,
regular guy, you know, you work on your field or you're in a city and you work like in a
mhm,
shop, life's good.
yeah,
Life's fine.
yeah,
Your life being good or bad depends on how good you are at making relationships, how good you are at
mhm,
talking to people, if you
yeah,
take care of yourself, if you have a good diet, if you work out. Like these regular things for 90% of people all across the world is what determine, well, except
mhm.
super poor countries.
Yeah,
It,
yeah. We're ignoring like
yeah, ignore the poor people.
half the
Just like
planet.
most people do, just ignore poor people.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
in those countries, 90% of people, your life just depends on, you know, did you find a good boyfriend? Did you find a good girlfriend? Do you have a nice house? Do you have a pet that you love?
Mhm.
And that'll be what determines whether you're happy
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not.
I don't plan on living past 50. So,
What are you gonna do if you're
like
50? You gonna jump?
I will go to no.
Go to
I
Sweden?
hate jumping. I feel yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, not Sweden. I think
Switzerland?
Switzerland. They have like the suicide pod.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope it's legal by
I don't
then.
know. I
It'll
don't know if it's a
be.
pod quite yet, but maybe one day.
It looks like a pod. It looks like a capsule. And I'm not kidding. It's like a.
Hey, I haven't seen it. Maybe. Here, I'll
It's like
check.
a. Yeah, yeah. It looks quite cool. I think it looks
Switzerland
fancy.
suicide capsule. Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, pull up the
Yeah.
Switzerland suicide capsule.
Did you see it? I
Oh
don't
yeah,
really
this
see
purple
it.
thing.
It looks like
Switzerland
an
might be the first
alien.
country to approve the suicide pod.
Yeah, you see? It looks cool.
Mm.
It looks like a spaceship.
Okay, there's this
Like
girl wearing like some streetwear outfit taking a selfie in front of the suicide pod.
you're gonna look cool when you die. Come on. I think it's fine.
3D printed coffin like pod. Suicide capsule. So
That's
what, they just
that's my
gas you?
plan for 50. I don't know. I think so. Or injection. Oh, okay. It says liquid nitrogen and suicide by reducing oxygen
Mm.
hypoxia.
Oh yeah, because when you are I forget the conditions for hypoxia, like something to do with like
Yeah.
planes or ships or whatever. Like when you die of hypoxia, you just get kind of disoriented, like you don't really know, and then you die, like, and you don't
Hmm.
even really experience any pain. You're just kind of confused a bit.
Yeah. Or you just go unconscious and die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's a good way to go. That's my plan
Do you think
for
they're
when I'm
gonna? Do you think
50.
they're ever gonna change from lethal injection to something like that? Like when they
Like,
execute prisoners? I mean,
no, costs way too much.
you think so? Because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
lethal
the
injections
injections
will
are
be
very
cheaper.
expensive. No, I'm pretty sure the injections are very expensive as well.
I don't know why they don't just use a bullet. Right?
You want the firing squad, the gallows? Okay,
They
so
do that here.
let's say it's
They do that
1800.
here.
Let's say it's
Hmm.
1800. Would you rather get firing squad or 1900? Would you rather get firing squad or hanged?
Firing squad for sure.
Oh, really?
Because you might live for a couple more minutes when you're hanged. Because it's not always effective if it doesn't break your neck instantly.
What if all the people are like, they're trainees and they just shoot your arms and your legs and you're just fucking...
Well, you I think it hurts, but at least you can scream or whatever, right? And they will just shoot you again.
You
right?
can't scream if you're choking on a rope with a broken neck, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you're choking for air, right? So I think
everybody's watching and clapping and like cheering, and you're...
it's because they really can't help you, right? Like, well, what if you survive?
They'll pull you back up and hang you again.
Yeah. It's such a huge amount of work when they can just shoot you again if they didn't kill you the first shot, right?
Maybe so you should create a new system where like, you get hanged and shot at the same time.
See, this is why I think US is the greatest country.
Oh, okay.
Tell me more guns. More guns, always a solution. More guns, you die for sure.
What's the upper bound? Like, how many guns per person before it becomes 10 guns per person? Damn.
Well, you know how they do it? They do execution, I think, here in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
I think like some people don't get the bullet, like, so you don't know who, like, so the
executioner doesn't know who like has responsibility.
Actually, yeah. So it doesn't weigh on them as much.
They feel like it's like psychological relief.
Yeah.
But why not just like get like a murderer to
hold the chair?
Yeah, I mean, because then they'll be happy. Is it wrong to make them happy? Maybe people will be angry that you made them happy.
I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because you hear a lot about the psychological distress from like people who have to review content to like ban from Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah,
like they have to like sort through all the gore and shit all day.
Yeah. I mean, I guess your solution is fine, but
that's like find somebody who likes it, right? Like hire somebody who wants to look at gore all day. But is it good to support that type of habit?
I don't think so. I think it becomes like a game, right? It's
like, they become like addicted to it.
And also people are entertained by the idea, right? So that's why like we have like Hunger Games, right? It's like you put like death row people in the island and then they kill each other till the last one, and then you kill the last one. Or
kill them anyway,
yeah. Well, yeah, right? You give them false hope.
You're not supposed to tell. You're not supposed to say that last part.
Yeah.
We let the winner go. The winner gets to go free
into the suicide pot. We have the expense to put one person in the suicide pot.
Yeah, so and they save the money on all the rest.
Yeah. Kill each other till the. I think that's a fair idea, but I don't think majority of the people would be happy with it. That's why we don't have it.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why we have a prison system in a lot of countries that is very focused on punishment, because people are like vindictive and angry, and it makes them feel better. Where in certain countries and like in older tribal civilizations, their punishments were related on rehabilitation and paying back. Like you kill somebody's family, like you hunt for their food. You take care of their hut. And you contribute to the society, and I think that's much better. It's hard to do, but I think it's a much better system to try to work towards. Like,
yeah, but I don't agree with that, because I think some people are unchangeable.
What percentage?
Like,
okay, so we take all the criminals in the U.S. 10% are innocent, so we ignore those. The other 90, what percentage of them do you think can be rehabilitated into people that will not commit any serious violent crimes anymore?
What I think is non-violent crimes are okay.
Like, oh yeah, of course. I don't even think. I think for the most part they shouldn't even be in prison. Like recently, the guy got arrested for pirating Nintendo hardware and selling it. You hear about that?
Yeah, that guy's his name was
Bowser. His name was Bowser or whatever, right?
Yeah. I know. That guy's kind of a piece of shit.
Why is that?
Yeah, he did a lot of shady stuff.
Oh, okay. So let's ignore. I'm not familiar, but let's say he only pirated the content and sold it. Does he deserve to be in prison? Like I feel like I feel like trapping somebody in a cage for non-violent crime is like very peculiar to me.
Well, yeah, I think it's
Like I understand being
overboard,
fined. I
but
understand
I think
having
he
to
should
pay back the
pay.
money.
Yeah,
I
I think
understand
he should
having
pay.
restrictions on you know, like not being audited or like your technological
Yeah,
privacy since you're committing technological crime. Maybe something along those lines, but even that, but like overall, like putting somebody in jail, like, oh, you stole $100 million from fucking $1 billion company. Wow, go
hmm
spend 5 years in jail. Like what? Like how is that
yeah.
logical?
The thing is, they usually can't get the money back, so that's the
Yeah, but
alternative. You
why?
go to
Like
jail.
again, it's like it's this very vindictive.
Yeah, because you can't pay. I
Yeah,
think that's the
exactly. Like
problem.
so, the only people that feel better about this is Nintendo executives, and everybody else in society is like,
See, that's the thing. You this is where I don't know if it works, but
sure,
you try to prevent future crime, right? So people see, oh, you download this and you steal money from them
mm,
and you can pay it back, then you go to jail. So
yeah. So the crime is
sure, it doesn't
you're
make
saying it's a
sense, right? It's a
deterrent.
deterrent. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So people will be, oh, I probably shouldn't steal. If I steal
yeah,
and they catch me, I will have to give the money back.
yeah.
And if I don't, then they will put me in jail. Right. So I think I think it's fair where he goes to
I
jail if he
suppose
can
it
pay
makes
it
sense. I
back.
mean, it's really hard to judge. Like we would have to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expert on anything. I just feel this is just my opinion.
Yeah,
I feel like it's fine. Like, and I think U.S. is kind of fucked up where they lock people up for like
all
drugs
sorts
and
of
all
stuff.
those like
You
yeah,
smoke
yeah,
weed, you go to jail for 5 years. You kill somebody, you go to jail for 10 years. Like what the
yeah,
fuck is that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are
I
you
think it's
kidding
fucked
me?
up. Well, it's like why they do it? Because it's like free labor, right? They make these
Yes. Well,
prisoners
yeah,
do
the idea of a
work.
private prison is
Yeah, it's so
ridiculous. I
disgusting.
can
Yeah.
own a prison and you will
hmm
let me like control your country's prisoners and make money
Yeah,
off of them?
and they have a contract with the state
Yeah.
where if it's not filled to
Yeah,
what
oh, yeah, yeah,
percentage,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
state have to pay
Yeah, so
the
then
taxpayer
they
money.
intentionally arrest people and send them to those prisons. There was a big
hmm
scandal with like a juvenile. There was like some judge who was like arresting and sending juveniles to jail like all the
Yep.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And for pay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's well, this is just dark side of capitalism, right?
Yeah. Well,
People do anything for
even
money.
ignoring capitalism, do you think, okay, so when we have prisons and
hmm
laws, the goal is to make the average happiness of society higher. If we
hmm
didn't have prisons or laws, you know, and people were going around murdering everybody, you know, like society would like collapse a little bit. You know, we go
Like
back to
San
like the Wild
Francisco.
West.
Uh-huh.
So, is putting somebody in jail for smoking weed making anybody happier? Does it make society better in any way? I don't think so.
Well, it makes rich people happy because it
Mm,
makes racist people happy.
yeah,
And that's just the truth, right?
but their opinions don't matter,
There's
right? I
no
guess.
yeah, there's no like there's no benefit to the society other than their
Yeah,
labor, and then it's basically slave labor, which is
yeah. Well, it is. It's modern slavery.
yeah. I watched the documentary by I don't think it's HBO or something.
Mm,
It's 13th Amendment or something, or it's just called 13. Let me
13 Reasons
check.
Why.
No, it's just called. Let me see. Or 15. I don't know. I don't remember which amendment. I'm
15
not
Reasons
American.
Why.
No, no, no. It talk about how like basically you shouldn't have well basically they abolished slavery, right?
Yes.
But unless
Well, that's what, and then they made like
it's a
weed
criminal,
illegal.
right. Let me search. Is it? Yeah, yeah. See, it's 13th Amendment, right?
Yeah,
It's abolishes slavery unless it's fucking criminal.
yeah,
Let me search what's the documentary.
sure. NFT hype has
It's
finally
called
died down.
13th.
What's it called?
Yeah, yeah. 13th.
Mm,
Like 13 and TH, like the number 13 and TH.
13th. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's Netflix documentary. It's
Mm,
basically talking about how like so many of the people are just being used, like especially like people of color.
Yes.
Like it's such a disgusting.
Well, yeah, like they made like drug crimes punishable by long prison sentences at a time where ethnic people were disproportionately using drugs.
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean
they just enslaved them all.
arrest more. Yeah,
Yeah.
And well, we can talk about the video I showed you earlier where two people are fighting.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
only arrest the
white
color.
person, black person get into a fight, they arrest the black guy, and even though the white guy was like winning the fight, like it doesn't even make any sense.
It's just society, right?
Yeah, people are racist as fuck.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah. You want to talk about NFTs?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, NFTs, they're kind of dead. Like, I mean, I don't hear about them anymore. I mean, people still like them, but like, what do you think? Do you think there's a future for NFTs? Do you think people will care about NFTs?
No, I think there's no future for NFTs.
So let's say because
the current form of NFT,
yes, exactly.
I think there's no future.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say, because the current complaints are like how it's stored and blah blah blah. But it's like the idea of art. Like, people like the idea of art. People like the idea of having an original. But like, if there was a version of NFTs where it somehow is better integrated with the blockchain, rather than like some link to a JPEG or whatever people are like memeing about recently.
And it's not even linked to a JPEG that you own, right? It's like, I can't literally sell multiple copies of the same picture as unique NFTs.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to own the picture because they don't even ask me.
So I'll give a good business idea away to, for free on the podcast to any astute listener. I think you need to make a system where you kind of, you know how there's like art curators for a museum? You kind of need like an NFT curators so that not everybody can just post all this junk and spam it. You need to have like certified, copyright owned NFTs that are one of a kind.
Decentralized, right?
Yeah, they're one of a kind. They're stored on the blockchain properly. And
doesn't that defeat the purpose, right?
Well, it's basically just art
agency to do verification.
The crypto side of art collection in this way doesn't really work, because when you combine the like anonymity with the idea of, hey, I own this, I mean, it's kind of, I feel like it's like it doesn't cooperate, like it doesn't work well together. But maybe it's fine. I feel like using digital art and the idea of non-fungible tokens as just like a modern way of collecting art, where you have people curating art and approving art, and like when you buy this NFT, you own all the commercial, intellectual, artistic, mechanical rights to this piece of art. It is now your property. You can do with it and transform it however you want. It's one of a kind. It's original. Other people cannot recreate this. In the same way that, I can't go.
What if I still steal it, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna sue me? I'm in a different country.
It's the same as me printing Mona Lisa, like and having a printout of the Mona Lisa. Like, it doesn't. It's not worth anything.
The Mona Lisa is physical, right? And then what yours is obviously very different.
Well, yeah, that's why it has to be related to the blockchain in a way that's like infallible.
I guess, but I feel like the secrecy is like,
well, yeah, you're basically pointing out the reality of like collections. The reality of collections is, who gives a fuck?
I feel like
only other people
is never gonna happen. Like,
well, yeah,
I think there's it's sure you can prove like, oh, I had the original and I had the media rights or whatever, but there's always gonna be people that will,
well, yeah, that's the problem, right? It's like, about the Mona Lisa and stuff, but it's only there, and it's only valuable, and it's only protected because everybody agrees.
Yeah, but I think it's indistinguishable. Like, see, you print out Mona Lisa, I can tell. Like, even I can tell. Or if there's a...
Well, sure, but like if a master artist painted it, there would only be a handful of people who would be able to like look at the And they
And I think
peel back the layers, and they'd be like, "Oh, I can tell by the chemical makeup of this paint that it was painted in this year."
for sure.
You know, like so only 10 people in the world, well, maybe not 10, but like a couple thousand people in the world would be able to tell this is an original Mona Lisa. Like, let's say the Louvre or whatever, remove the Mona Lisa, put up a fake. Are people going to notice? Like,
probably not, right? Yeah.
Right? So
So that's the thing that I think about digital, but except it's way more
well, in digital,
easy
it's perfect.
to yeah, and the thing
Nobody
is,
can tell, except if it was on the blockchain.
yeah, and the thing is, if you for someone to make it good enough of a Mona Lisa that majority of people that cannot tell apart, I think you have to be a very good one.
Yeah,
Like,
it still
but
has
on the internet,
value. It still has value because it's difficult.
yeah. But on the internet, anyone
Well, that's
can
the thing about NFTs.
replicate.
The current version of NFTs is really simple, like grade school level art. It doesn't make any sense for it to have value
Those
artistically.
monkeys.
But it's like one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite digital artists was somebody that did a lot of work for StarCraft and Blizzard in general. His name was like Mr. Jack. And he did a ton of digital art for them. And I think he worked on like Magic the Gathering cards. Like he's extremely talented.
Yeah.
So now if he made like a original piece and, you know, oh, it's like I can buy printouts, I can buy this. Okay, cool. You know, that's normal. But now let's say he made an original piece and instead he wanted to make it into a non-fungible token. And it's like, here's my original one-of-a-kind piece. Yeah, you can copy the file, whatever. But you can buy this token. Here's a way to verify that it's the original token. Again, like integrating it to the blockchain properly is something.
Sure. I think some people can see value of that, but I don't see majority. Well, I think for this to become a successful part of the culture, I think enough people have to care, but I don't think enough people care about.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you take somebody who's already established, right?
Yeah.
And then if he could additionally offer that if you buy this NFT, you now have full commercial rights to this image. You know, you can use it on your own art, your own work, your own commercial project. You know, they start selling art kind of in a
I mean, I understand what you're talking about. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna sell my album, but only one of them I'm gonna sign by hand."
Yeah.
And then sure, well, that one's gonna be way more expensive.
But you also get the right. You also get
that.
the right to remix the music. Like I'm saying, you can add other things to the sale.
I understand that, but you don't have to use blockchain for that. I mean, like,
oh, of course not. 100%.
I understand.
Yeah.
I just think it's a pointless idea. Like, way fewer people will care whether you do
yeah,
this.
Like you'd rather have like a physical. I would rather call Mr. Jack and be like, hey, can I buy this art? You send me you send me the original, like paint it, and then you also send me some papers giving me the rights to the art.
Yeah. Or you can just sign me a postcard.
Yeah.
Or take a picture with me.
Or
promise.
You're right. People like physical goods a lot.
I think that's
even if me and you think that the digital goods are kind of like junk in comparison to that, there are people who value them. So
yeah.
It's like me and you think that collecting little My Little Ponies from 10 years ago is junk, but somebody out there is collecting all of them. So
for sure,
since somebody's collecting all of them, why don't we do a good job and present them with a product that is actually good? Current NFTs are shit. Yeah. They're not connected to the blockchain. They're connected to fuck all. They're little like copy and paste animations or still images of like basic monkey. So instead of that garbage that people want to collect, why don't we actually create a system like what I'm suggesting, where it's like, okay, here's proper digital art. You're getting proper rights to it. It's properly connected to the blockchain. You know, it doesn't matter if we think it's stupid.
A waste of time. I think it's a waste of time because there's so many other options that you can do to achieve the same thing, right? I understand what you're talking about, but I think to achieve the same, I guess, feelings of the ownership or like rights to the product that you buy, I think there's already established way to do so, and I think it's I think you can sign a contract, right?
Yeah, but who knows how to do it? That's what I mean. We're the middleman.
I think that's fine.
We're the middleman that handles the bureaucracy. Because how many people have it in them to go call Mr. Jack and ask him for a commission and tell him what he wants? But you could be the middleman to be like, hey, here's Mr. Jack's piece of art. You can go buy it.
You see, there's so much more work because you see,
I've said Mr. Jack like 15 times as if he's like my friend.
Like who is gonna decide that if that piece of document is legal? So I think there's already copyright.
Well, that's what I mean. We could create a business.
There's no point of doing it because there's already copyright law that where you can sell your rights.
Yeah, but that's our business, or that's the theoretical business.
You're just making a new business of something that already exists.
Yeah, you middleman. We're like an agent.
You can already do that you can write a contract. You can DocuSign. You can.
Yeah, the only difference is that people like NFTs. People like cryptocurrency.
Right? You just like
We're appealing to a market that you think is stupid and I think is stupid, but they like it. They want an NFT. You can
already do that right now. I think people are already dumb enough to join without any security. I think you're doing extra layer of protection.
Okay, so let's say we wanted to contact artists and sell their art to people.
You don't have to. You can just sell it, with the current system.
Yeah, how?
You just copy paste their image and upload to the.
No, I mean like legally. We're talking about like legally doing this.
No, well, right now. What you mean, like without using NFT?
Well, that's what you're saying, right? Don't use NFTs.
Yeah. Well, you can just write while you talk to the artist about wanting to acquire the media rights or ownership of the.
Yeah, but then art. Why would they ever interact with me? They would just do it themselves.
What do you mean?
If nobody's curating it, then when I say, hey, I want to help you sell your art as an NFT, and then I explain it to them, then they'll just go do it themselves.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't have to do NFT. You can say, okay, but I mean, there's no point of doing it that way, right? Because with the current system, with the current NFT system, they don't ask for ownership. They just upload the picture.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's so they can do it themselves.
Exactly.
We can do it also.
That's exactly my point. Yeah, but I want to be the middle. I want to grift. I want to grift them, man.
Well, you want to grift them. You don't have to go through all the hoops, right? You can just take their picture.
No, because that's illegal. That's illegal.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal right now.
Oh my god, it is illegal.
Who's gonna say it's? No, it's not.
I can't go copy his art and sell it. That's illegal.
I'm not selling his art. I'm selling a URL to his picture. You say, no. This is literally what they're doing. That's why it's like fucking scam, right? You don't have to own the picture to sell it.
Yeah, it is a scam. Right? That's exactly my point.
Yeah. And then the point is you want to scam these people, right? These people that are into NFTs, right? Why are you going through the legal way?
I want to help them realize their goals, okay? Come on.
You see, you want to make money off these people?
Yeah.
And then you're going through the extra hoops of making it legal. Then that's pointless because the current system's easier where you can just do it yourself without having to go through setting up a system, going through legal, like
but if you try to go sell art, are you gonna make any money?
You're not.
No, of course not, because that's not what anybody's interested in. You have to create all these hoops to generate interest, to create a product that is actually appealing to people from the outside.
I don't think so. I think you can just do what they do right now because what they're buying is not the art. They're buying the hype.
How about this? NFTs, I'll agree with you. If you can sell one NFT of anything to anybody, then I'll agree with you.
Sure. I'm so lazy with these stuff, but I'm pretty sure I can do it. I just have to upload enough pictures and then price them low enough. Somebody's gonna buy.
It costs money. It costs money to post an NFT right now.
Oh really?
Yeah. How much? I don't know, but I know that there's a cost.
That's so
exactly. See, you're already running into problems.
What you have to do is become these websites. You don't have to go through regulations.
Yeah, but they already exist. It's too late. It's too late. We already missed the market.
How many websites are there? There's so
many.
We
already missed the market, dude. It's too late.
Yeah, but I think your idea isn't gonna work.
Oh, my idea would pop off.
No way.
I just don't care enough about money to do it.
I mean,
that's why I said it's a free idea. If somebody intelligent listens to this, they'll be like, "Oh, good thinking," and then we'll see the website. I just want 10%, okay?
Sure.
Just give me 10%.
Yeah.
Whoever actually makes this come true, just give me 10%, okay?
Yeah. Well, I'll take 5%.
No, Peter said it's dog shit, so he doesn't need any.
Yeah. But it's part of my podcast, right? You know, it came from here.
No, see, you get 50% of podcast revenue. That is separate. That's like, you know, external business.
Okay. So, well, maybe when we get an NFT sponsor, then
an
we'll
NFT sponsor. Yeah, we're sponsored by OpenSea. We'll make our little podcast icon. We'll sell that as an NFT.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure it will. See, I didn't see when I gave money to the artists that drew our pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even say anything. I just send their money, right? So technically,
we don't own NFT.
Yeah, we don't own shit, right? Well, no. What? She asked me what's my request. I was like, oh, it's just the stuff you drew for the podcast. And the answer is, Pog.
Yeah.
And then she linked me to PayPal.
Yeah. Well, I talked to the artists. I talked to the artists, and I have full commercial, artistic, mechanical, intellectual.
That's great. Does the podcast own it, or do you own it?
I personally own it.
Fuck. Then I don't. You're gonna have to
if you put this on a shirt and you sell it, I'm gonna sue you.
Too late. Well, I'm gonna just wear it now, I guess. Right? And I think I can wear it as long as I don't profit from it.
Yeah, right? If you're not selling it commercially, well, that's like a whole other. That's like a gray area. Like when you go to an anime convention. When you go to an anime convention and somebody's selling like fan art, like technically it's illegal, but like nobody, like who cares?
Yeah. It's such a the thing is, it's such a big advertising opportunity that the artists usually don't care.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah.
Man, it's whatever.
Unless you're like Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo taking down all the music, all the videos, all the gameplay. Like, what the fuck?
Any streams? Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're so annoying about those stuff.
It's crazy.
But I think they're getting better. Like if you ask permission when you stream.
Yeah, because 10 years ago they were really bad. Like I don't know if you realize, but like if you're around, but like they wanted to make it that Smash Brothers Melee could not be played as a tournament game.
Yeah, or they don't even let you. They have if you play on the older version where someone basically cracked the code, right?
Yeah.
And then they think
they made some improvements or whatever.
Yeah. They were like not happy about it.
But why? Like that's such a stupid thing. It's like I buy your game.
Yeah.
I recoded a bit to make it better, and you're mad at me? Like what the fuck? It's my it's my property, dude. And this idea that like if because I own Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64. I own it physically in real life. So why should I have any like legal obligation to not play like an emulated version of this game?
Well,
like why do I need to hook my N64 up to my computer rather than emulate? Like what are you complaining about?
Yeah, that I have no idea how it works. So I think,
well, technically I could take that N64 cartridge. I could I think there's legal precedent to make a ROM of it for storage purposes or something along those lines. It's like I'm making a copy of my own property so that it doesn't degrade. And then you're like legally allowed to use that ROM that you made yourself of your own property, something like that. It's weird. I'm not really sure if that's true.
Yeah, I just think it's not worth the time, right?
Well, yeah, but it's like, why are they complaining? I'm not going to go buy Super Mario 64 on the N64 again.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't want to sell you those too.
Yeah, they don't even offer it. It doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo 64, like 20 years from now, it's going to be so hard to find a Nintendo 64 because they're going to break down over time.
They're closing eShop or Wii U.
Yeah.
And 3DS.
Yeah.
I think. Like, so some of the games you just can't get anymore.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, how stupid are these companies to not make their own like emulators?
Yeah.
And to sell these games, you know.
I don't want to say Game Awards. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but these companies, especially Asian companies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Native land of the grass mud horse.
Oh no, no. Nintendo is a Japanese company.
Oh, grass mud horse is only in China.
Yeah.
I see.
But what else do we want to talk about? What else do we want to
I read about masks.
We talk about COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading about masks on kids and people complaining about masks on kids and like saying it's like detrimental to social development, which I think is stupid. I think that wearing a mask is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's a bit uncomfortable, maybe it sucks, but if I'm 10 years old and I'm going to school and my parents tell me, you know, like you know, people are getting sick pretty easily, wearing this mask will help you not get sick and not make other people sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Like is it a big deal? Like what am I missing here?
It's definitely not a big deal because
but why are people so mad? Like what am I missing? What don't I understand?
You see that because
educate me.
Okay, if you live in Asian countries, like me,
yeah,
it's a norm where
they already wear masks if they're sick.
When they're sick, yeah, and a lot of people like to cover their face because sometimes air pollution is kind of
like in Beijing,
or they just think their face is not pretty.
Yeah, sure.
Wear face cover, or they write it's way more popular to ride motorcycle here, so the
you don't want bugs in your mouth. Yeah,
and the wind is kind of strong when you ride motorcycle, so you wear a mask. So it's a very normal thing here to wear. It's just a culture thing.
Yeah,
and in North America, people are all about my freedom, my choice.
Yeah, so why do they see it as such a infringement on their freedom?
I think it's
that
not.
Would be like me saying, I'm not free. I have to pay rent to live in my house. That's not freedom. I'm not free. I have to pay for groceries? This is a tyranny, man.
Have to have a driver's license?
Yeah, I have to have a driver's license to drive a car. My own car?
Yeah. Yeah. But they think this is their freedom to make their own choice. But when it comes to abortion, no. That's not your choice.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of funny.
Like, what is that logic?
My body, my choice, unless it's a kid inside you. Fuck.
I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how you can think that wearing a mask is a form of oppression.
I think people just want to be oppressed.
So when people act oppressed, do you think it's about the community? Or do you think it's about, like...
No, it's always about themselves.
Like self-centered, like pity?
They just want to be the
victim?
Yeah, the victim.
So why do people like victimizing themselves? What does it make them feel that feels good?
I have no idea. I think they just...
Hey, Peter, I'm really oppressed. My father is from the Middle East, and people call me a terrorist, and they call me a piece of shit. Okay, yeah. Do I feel good? Do I feel cool? Oh, because I get your compassion.
Yeah.
I get you to feel bad for me. Yeah, that does suck, man.
Yeah. Oh
Please help me.
You're so brave. You're so yeah. You see, this is what they want, right? Because they're always called, oh, you're so privileged. You're so arrogant. But now when I'm in the oppressed class, now people have to listen to what I have to say.
I get white privilege, but also minority privilege, where I get people to feel bad for me.
The total opposite of being an Asian, where being an Asian means you're white when it comes to school.
Oh yeah.
But when you're needed as a minority, oh shit, then you are a minority. It's like you never get the good part. You never get the privilege. You never get the white privilege. When you go to apply for a college, shit, you're white, so you don't get the extra boost in scores. But when you're getting gunned down on the street, shit, you're a minority, so gotta arrest you.
Yeah.
There's no good. Like you don't get the
So what you're saying is that Asians are more oppressed than black people. That's what you're saying?
No. That's not what I said. That's what you inferred from what I said.
I see.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that.
Okay. Neutral stance. Switzerland
Yeah,
stance.
yeah.
With the pod.
I'm just saying.
That can be what you say from the pod. Can we do the last podcast, the podcast, when you were in your suicide pod?
I think so.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I think that's a good idea. The final
yeah. Well, just a suicide podcast, and it's just one episode.
What if you die before me?
Impossible.
What happens then? Impossible. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Because I have in my blood 37.5% white privilege.
Yeah.
So impossible that I'll die before you.
Yeah, but you also have First Nation Canadian blood.
Yeah, but see, recent times,
RCMP just stomps in your house.
Yeah, but recent times,
you down.
Pipeline protest, residential school deaths, child graves. You know, I get a lot of sympathy.
Privileged?
Yeah, I get a lot of sympathy now. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm so strong.
You're right.
From withstanding all this oppression.
True, but I think.
Also, you want to hear even more? I'm pretty sure my uncle, on that side of the family, was Jewish, so heavily oppressed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You see, I don't have any privilege here. The only privilege I have is I'm like middle class. I don't have.
Also, like, my father Iranian, but not Islamic, so he had to leave from the revolution. So also oppressed.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
That's like.
If only I was black. If I was black, then I could have every oppression from.
Yeah.
Every because I got Native, Middle Eastern, non-Islamic.
Yeah, but when you're too oppressed, you get killed, right? Don't you? Right? I think that's there's a rule, right? Like you can be somewhat oppressed, and then people pity you, and people will be like, "Oh, you're so brave." But when you're so oppressed, like
then they think you're trash.
Aboriginals,
like you're the Ulgar Muslims or whatever. They just enslave you.
Yeah, Uyghurs, and yeah. Or like I think honestly, the natives in Canada, they're still pretty oppressed, and they're getting killed.
Yeah, the reservations and stuff. That shit's real bad.
Yeah, they're taking people's houses.
I went to a reservation one time, and there was a guy who was trying to sell his like rap music on a CD.
Damn, that's old school. They live in the like. Do you have like a CD player, or do you even have a CD player?
Not anymore. No, I threw it down.
Do anyone have a CD player?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
they're living on old technology, man.
But I know Canadian government gives them a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it goes to like the individuals, like because there's
some tribe gives them like equally. Like say I give you like 100 million.
Yeah,
and I know there's a tribe that gets like a couple $100K each person each year. It's kind of sick, right? You just get it because you're oppressed.
Yeah, well, it's like if I wanted to go to university, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have to pay for it.
Why don't you go? Well, the Canadian university is kind of cheap. It's
well, I mean, like I could go. Like I was originally going to go to law school at U of T.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have to pay for
it. If you go to like I don't know if it's the same in different province, but at least if you go to Ontario University, it costs like $7K a year.
Really?
Canadian. For tuition.
Yeah.
So it's not too expensive.
Yeah, I don't really have any interest. The only thing I'd have interest in is getting like a master's in psychology, but like I would want to do it online. I wouldn't want to go to school.
I don't want to do anything. I just want to be a
teacher. It's like personal interest rather than like career.
I don't know. My dream is to be a podcaster.
Oh yeah, well I mean you already are. You're living your dream right now.
Exactly. Not really, but yeah.
What do you mean, man? We got 69. How many people? First podcast, 0 subs, 69 views in 2 days. Come on, man. That's like world record pace. Exactly. No clickbait.
In 10 years, we'll be Joe Rogan.
Yeah. 10 years? Yeah. I mean, maybe even 5 years. How many views was he getting per podcast? Like
we're going to get like 20 views on this video.
Oh, man. Come on. This one will... If we can get 6 likes on this video, dude, what are we going to do, man? What's the reward for crossing the 6 like threshold?
we'll have to think about it
Oh, okay. Next
for
time.
the next.
Yeah, we'll figure out some other time.
We'll do something. We'll do something. Yeah.
Okay. In the same spirit of NFTs, what about digital currencies? Because I never knew this. I don't know if you read into it at all, but I never knew that the way digital currency works now, like when you use a credit card, they're like sending a check to the bank, and the bank is sending a check to this person, and that person's sending a check to that person, and like there's all these fees, and then they confirm that it's your money, and then they like put it through, right? But what they want to do, they want to create a digital currency, like a true digital currency, where I have $100 and it's almost like a gift card.
Okay.
Like the money is like right, like it's there already.
So it's like paper money but digital.
Yeah. Okay. So I think they've been talking about it for the West, but also China's been talking about making a digital yuan. And the concern is like obviously then you have no financial privacy because they're tracking every one of your transactions. But the upside is that there won't be like any fees or whatever.
Yeah. No fees for now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always too good to be true. Like,
yeah,
there's always gonna be people that are greedy, and I think to make a new currency, like, well, it's not technically new, but I guess it's new compared to what we have now.
Yeah, like I mean, they're basically just putting like real digital money right on your card rather than you have to like check with your bank first or whatever. That's my understanding of it anyway.
I don't think it's gonna work. I think the current style of crypto is kind of fine. But the thing is, nobody's using it as its intended purpose, right? They're just using it as investment. Like, hardly anyone uses it as a currency. So I think it defeats the purpose of having it.
Yeah.
And then they can trace it. Like, I saw a news the other day where, oh my God, we have to talk about this. So there was a website that got hacked, or a crypto website that got hacked, and they lost like billions of dollars worth of crypto. And then recently they arrest a couple. I think a couple.
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
Where they trace the money from the exchange to where they're laundering the money. And why it's such a big news, because the woman that they arrested has a rap video. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look crypto rap. Okay, there we go. Heather Morgan.
Sure.
Her rap name is Razzle Khan, and she was arrested for $3.6 billion of Bitcoin fraud.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and that's a news. You can search it up. Yeah, married couple steals $4.5 billion in Bitcoin. I guess the number changes because Bitcoin price changes. I guess, I see 3.6, 4.5. Somebody says 3 billion. But yeah.
They stole it during 2016 hack. Ilya Lichtenstein and his rapper wife. 119,000 Bitcoin.
Damn. Kind of insane, isn't it? Yeah.
They moved their funds to their accounts via a complicated money laundering process.
So
they bought gold, NFTs, and a $500 Walmart gift card. So how do you think they fucked? Like, I wonder where they fucked up.
I have no idea. I don't know. But you see, the thing is, they can trace it, right? Like, the government's not gonna allow you to do.
The thing is that like all transactions are public, right? So when they stole the money all went to a wallet or whatever. But then you can like slowly start to spread it out.
Yeah, I mean, you can put it in a physical wallet now.
Yeah, but it's still like it's still tracked. Like there's no way to like avoid the ledger.
Yeah. I guess.
So we steal 100,000 Bitcoin. It goes into our wallet. And then I send 1 BTC to like this random address, and then that random address I send it to like 100 addresses, and then all of those send it to 100.
How are they gonna know who owns that address, right?
That's what I mean. You cannot actually prosecute somebody based on this, because I could say, well, I bought this Bitcoin with money. You know, like, but when you don't cover your steps properly, like, okay, so let's say I took that Bitcoin and I put it into stake.com, sponsored by stake.com. Okay. Don't gamble. Then I could just say, like, because then the stake address, I'm pretty sure it's like all jumbled up.
Yeah.
Like when my deposit address versus the withdrawal address, like.
I think they can still arrest you for laundering.
No, because when I withdraw from stake.com, the money I withdraw is not from the same address that I deposited it
when
from.
When you put it in, the money that you stole from goes to them.
Think about it this way.
Yeah, they can arrest. Yeah,
no. Think about it this way. No, because they wouldn't even know it's me. So my address that we stole it from is address A. The address that I used to gamble on stake is address B. My third wallet is address C. When I withdraw from address B from stake into C, that money doesn't come from address B. It comes from a totally different one.
The stake that you withdraw to a different wallet? I doubt it.
Well, because they're using their internal funds to fund different withdrawal. Because
but I mean, do they let you use a different address? Like you say account C, but so you say you put in with account B, right?
Yeah.
So
account C is a separate wallet I've made.
Yeah, but do stake that you withdraw?
Yeah, you can withdraw to any account, any wallet you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and on stake, I could send you money. I could tip you.
Okay, I guess.
So you can wash your money through gambling through that way.
I suppose.
Where now the money isn't traceable.
Yeah, but if they can prove that it's you that are doing that, not.
Well, that's what I mean. Like from my perspective, I might be missing something.
I think it's
but my understanding is that there's ways to mix up the addresses where now it's impossible to tell that Bitcoin that's now in address C originated from address A.
I'm sure there's a way to launder crypto better.
But I mean, well, I think they made a mistake. I think they either talked about it to somebody or they used an email. I think they made a stupid mistake, and the government, the police is just not saying so. Yeah,
for sure. I think they definitely use their account somewhere where they can trace through their name.
Because the reality is, even if I put 100,000 Bitcoin into one account and then I sent $10,000 to another account and withdrew it immediately, the police can't say it was me. I could say I bought this with my money.
Well, you have to prove it.
Yeah, right? You have to create like a trail of like believability.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a good, well, obviously they caught him. That's why they definitely made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, well, they also stole $3 billion, so obviously there's like a lot of eyes on them.
Yeah,
I wonder how much they tried to take out. Because if they randomly try to take out $1 million, well, you deserve to get caught. You're so fucking stupid. Like,
yeah,
you have to. What they need to do is create like a business and like like Breaking Bad. Go get a car wash, dude.
And why are they in any places that have where they can be arrested? Like they should be
like move to Macau or Manila or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like Caribbean where they like the US have no have no jurisdiction or whatever, right? Like why are they in the US or why are they in I don't know where they got arrested, where they extradited back to the US. They should be in the country where there's no there's no treaty with this US, right?
Yeah.
I think even if they stole that money, if they're in a country where they can't be arrested for the crime, right?
Yeah.
I think that's they might just be able to get away with it. And I have this two couple then listen to our podcast and learn about stealing identities.
Yeah.
That's where they went wrong.
Yeah. I could have thought
if they use someone else's identity.
Well, see, if they contacted me, I would have said for the low price of $1 billion, I will guarantee that you get your $2.6 billion without getting arrested.
Exactly, but she's too popular. She's a rapper.
Yeah, she's a famous rapper.
Yeah, but I don't think crypto is that. I don't. Well, I think crypto is fine, but
I think the concept of crypto is fine, but yes, you're right that people use it as an investment. They use it as a way to grift other people. They don't actually use it as a currency, which defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
I heard that Mark Zuckerberg decided that employees should be called Metamates.
I think, I mean...
What do you think about that? You want to be a Metamate?
No, but I think...
You think that increases productivity? When somebody on the board of directors, they all sit in their office and they think, how can we make our company better? How can we improve our public relations? How can we make our employees feel like they're, not getting scammed? We should call them Metamates. Who comes up with that idea? Mark? You think Mark said it, came up with it himself?
No, someone's definitely getting paid to do all this.
Oh, they paid somebody. Like, do some surveys, do some analysis.
Someone's cousin or someone's nephew.
Oh, yeah.
This, so.
Yeah, they're doing their PhD in, sociology, and they discovered that calling people Metamates is going to make them 10% happier.
This is just, nepotism and rich people stuff. I see it all the time. They just do random shit. It's like, well,
what do you think of all this? Like, what do you think of this recent trend of like trying to data mine people's personality trait? Like, I don't know how much League you played, but you remember like Riot Light?
Yeah.
So he's like behavioral specialist at League or at Riot Games, and he tries all these weird strategies to get people to like behave better. Do you think this stuff works?
No.
And like, what about these huge companies like Facebook and Amazon? Like when Jeff Bezos goes to congratulate employees, I couldn't have gone to space without you guys. Like who came up with that idea? Who's analyzing the statistics and saying, oh, yeah, we need to congratulate our employees 17% more, and then they'll be,
I don't think they do that. I think he's just arrogant.
So you think he did it himself? Now, maybe not that example, but that there's companies that are researching how to make their employees feel better. And they're like, oh, team building activities. We should, you guys need to go bowling together. You should all go to a park together and team build. Like, do you think any of this shit works?
Maybe. I don't know.
It seems like garbage to me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of garbage. I don't think it works, but maybe.
Like, what would actually make people happier? We're going to give you the day off. We're going to pay you, but we want you to spend time together, do something. At least talk to each other a little bit. Go hang out for an hour and talk about your favorite movies, and I'll pay you for the day.
I guess I will do it for the money, but
yeah, exactly. I'll pay you for the day. Just go talk.
Yeah.
Bond for a bit. I want you guys to get along.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you for the day. Go talk to each other. Like, wouldn't that be like a way better way of just doing it?
I don't think so. I think it's all bullshit. I think.
Oh, so you think even like if you're really well meaning, like maybe just don't even bother. Like,
if
you want to be friends, be friends. If you don't, then who cares?
Yeah. I think if you're forcing these people to be
right, like, is it beneficial? Like, would it be beneficial to like a startup that all these people? Well, let's say Google. My understanding is that on like certain projects with Google and other tech companies, it's kind of like you have some personal choice on which projects you want to work on.
Yeah, I think in certain field where this might work because people are like, personality based.
Yeah.
Right? Like, some people are way more.
Well, yeah, I just mean, like, do you think the company needs to help them bond, or should we just let them do it themselves?
I think if it makes you more money, then sure, you should force them, right?
Well, it's hard to tell, right?
Yeah.
I just mean, like, what's your hunch?
These people don't care about your feelings, so
yeah,
like, they only care about money.
What's your hunch? Do you think it would actually be better to let them, because some of these people are socially awkward, right? So is it better to try to help them, or is it better to just let them do their own thing?
I think it doesn't hurt to try. And if it works, sure. And if it doesn't, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to make it worse. Yeah.
I think that's why they do it.
Probably. And what do you think about the metaverse? Looks pretty bad to me.
Yeah.
Looks doomed. It looks doomed to fail to me.
Yeah, it's a good time. This is not... I'm going to put a disclaimer. This is not a financial advice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's probably a good time to buy Facebook stock.
Oh, yeah. You think it's undervalued? Might be a good call.
Not a financial advice, by the way.
Well, yeah, because the worry is that their business is so reliant on data. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they've been so successful for so long. They've probably branched out into enough fields that their business
Yeah,
is
they
more
have
stable than people think.
Instagram and LinkedIn, or oh, well, no,
Yeah,
no, they have Instagram. Do they own LinkedIn? I don't know, but they own like so
maybe
many. Oh, they own
subsidiaries.
WhatsApp.
Yeah,
WhatsApp, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I
And those
mean,
things are
they
still
have
popular. People
Instagram.
still love
Yeah,
Instagram. There's still more and more people using Instagram and respecting Instagram. WhatsApp is still popular.
yeah.
You
WhatsApp
know,
is super popular.
yeah. So
Just not here though.
like Facebook is boomer material, but you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
other than
They
that,
also own Oculus.
well, yeah, that's why they're trying to get into VR, get into the metaverse. They're trying to appeal
Mm-hmm.
to like young adult generation, but they're really
Yeah,
barking
yeah,
up the wrong tree.
yeah, yeah.
This is a really bad idea, and they can't. It's they can't see that it's a bad idea, but it's also hard to explain why it's a bad idea.
I mean,
It's kind of just
they
intuition. I've seen
force
so many
people to have a
games.
Facebook account
Yeah, I've
for
seen so many
the VR.
games and so many online communities. It's like been my entire life for like 20 years that it's
Mm-hmm.
just obvious to me that this online community is not going to work. Now, not to like bully the dead, but I felt the same way about Reckful's Wonderland Online or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like this
yeah,
is just
yeah.
not going to work. Like you have some good ideas or whatever, but like I can just tell it's not going to work.
Well,
Sometimes you just know.
I mean, we don't know if it's not gonna work because, oh, yeah, but
Well, yeah, he didn't
sure.
complete it. Does that count as me being right, or is that like
No, 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 no. He didn't launch, right?
yeah?
So
So it didn't. It never resolved. We'll never know.
yeah, yeah,
I see.
yeah. So
What else is there?
he didn't lose at least.
I read that there was a recent police officer that got 2 years in prison because
Uh-huh.
when she pulled somebody over,
Mhm.
some sort of confrontation happened, and she went to tase him and allegedly accidentally pull out her gun and shot him and killed him.
Yep. Yeah.
Two
I mean,
years.
that's just nah.
What do you think
See,
about
I think it's. I don't know if the sentence is fine or not,
that? Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I guess the jury believes it's an accident, right?
Yeah.
That's
What
why
do you
it's such
think?
a low.
Do you think she accidentally pulled out her taser and shot him?
I think it's
Or accidentally
possible.
pulled out her gun when she meant to go for the taser? I mean.
I think it's possible,
Hmm.
but I think that's not a problem if it's accident or not. I think this is more. I think she go to jail for 3 years, sure, but I think there should be a huge payment to
Well, yeah, it's like
the
very
family
negligent. Like even
because
if it was an accident, it's like
mhm,
extremely negligent.
it's a like lack of
Yeah.
training, right? Like lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Like I think that's more of a problem than the act of the killing, right? Because
Hmm.
it's completely possible it's actually an accident,
Now,
right?
are the tasers similar in size and feel to a gun? What does a modern taser look like?
No idea. Not American. I don't own a gun.
Modern
I
U.S.
don't.
taser? Police. Okay, it does look like a gun.
I mean, it must feel different. I think the thing is, I don't think there's a point to debate whether it's accident or not because
Hmm.
we don't know the situation, and it's entirely possible it can be an accident. I think it's possible,
Yeah.
at least,
I mean, this
and
thing
it
does
doesn't
look like,
justify it.
yeah, it does look like a
I'm just
gun, though
saying.
most of these are like
Mhm.
yellow, like you should be able to tell, but I mean,
I think there should be a big payment because the only problem in this situation is, yeah, a human life is lost.
hmm.
And does putting this woman in prison for the rest of her life change anything? No, right?
Well, it goes
And
back to the
did she
original
do it on
conversation.
purpose?
Yeah.
And then so I just think there's no point. And I think there's people should be talking about more training, less guns or whatever, but
Hmm.
I think
Less guns, that's a
the
hot take,
problem
man.
well, no, no, no. I don't think it. See, I think there should be a discussion about it. I don't think there should be
Okay.
less guns.
Okay.
Okay. I support guns. I support the Second Amendment.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Is there a
When the
Taiwanese
people have more
amendment?
guns, the police should have more guns, right? So,
Oh, okay, okay. Are you allowed to own firearms in Taiwan?
No.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure no. It's such a you see, Asian countries are pretty backwards in like most of the law. Like they're very conservative
Oh yeah.
in most situation, but they're progressive in some stuff because they tried. Like, for example, abortion.
Yeah.
It used to be legal, right? But that didn't stop people having abortion. They just stopped having them legally.
Yeah,
Well, they just
you
stopped
go
them
get a
having it.
coat hanger, you
Awesome.
go to a
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. So they're
uncertified
like, oh
doctor.
shit, people are dying. So then it becomes legal. Like that's I guess that's progressive somehow, right?
Yeah, it's
And
like
then,
progression
but
by force.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And but the thing is, you see, drug law. Like if you own certain amount of weed, it becomes intent to sell, right?
Yeah.
And weed is second
Yeah.
class two
Schedule
drug.
2. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And if you own enough, or if you sell, what they call it trafficking, right?
Yeah.
Drug trafficking.
Yeah.
It's 10 years to life.
Yeah.
So it's like one for weed, 10 years to life. But if you use, they just call you like maybe a gram.
Damn, 10
If you
years to life.
for
So some
trafficking
guy
weed.
some guy who's like has like a couple pounds of weed versus me who kills somebody, we go to jail and we're there forever together.
You see, yeah, I
That's
guess.
crazy.
But mm, Taiwan usually gives very lenient sentence.
Oh really?
But I don't know if there's a minimum required, like 10 years to life, maybe 10 years a minimum required or not. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. Maybe it's just a suggestion. But usually Taiwan gives very lenient sentences. So it pisses a lot of people off when say you drunk drive and kill somebody,
Yeah.
maybe you get 5 years. So it's kind of it pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But there's still death penalty here. So
And what do you have to do to get the death penalty?
I think first degree murder or multiple murder
Mm.
and or I think treason also.
Treason's such a weird
You see, we're against well, yeah, it's kind of like we're pretty much enemy of China, right? So
yeah, yeah. So I'm like spying for
there's
China, they'll
spies.
execute me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So there's that. I think also there's drug trafficking, also death penalty, but Schedule 1. Like
Mm.
I'm not sure which one are Schedule 1.
I haven't heard about the Philippines in quite some time. How's that going for them? Have you heard about that? Like,
Nope, no idea. I
mm.
don't really
Because
follow.
he came into power, he was like, I'm gonna kill everybody. You know, didn't he say
I
like,
think he,
if I see you
I
doing
think
drugs on
he's
the
very
street, I'll kill you
popular.
myself, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think he's very popular in the country.
Well, yeah, because
Like
from
this is
from
just
the
my
outside,
yeah.
it looks crazy. From the inside, it's like, okay, everybody is doing drugs. They're all crackheads. They're all fucking stealing and committing crime. Like,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah,
is
yeah.
making the country more livable. Again, we're talking about the 90%.
Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
them, they want all these people to be killed because it's ruining their
Mhm.
life.
They don't care about the innocent 10%.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I think he was quite popular when he first got elected,
yeah,
and the West was kind of against him because
yeah. Well, because they don't support that like extra
yeah, yeah,
judicial killing and all that.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's kind of fucked up,
Yeah.
but I think the people
Well, it's like how
in
many
the
people
country
got
was kind of
framed,
fine.
you know? Like I can just leave some drugs on
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and then
yeah.
call the police and then they'll come shoot
I think
you.
a lot of people got framed,
Yeah, of
but
course.
I think most people were like,
Well,
"Not
and
my
also like
problem,"
political
right?
rivals, you know? He has like like it's like authoritarian
Mhm.
power. Like, oh,
That people can talk.
yeah,
So,
I saw this other person smoking drug. I saw him smoking drugs. We killed him. And it's like, okay,
mhm.
like, well, now what the fuck do I do?
You killed the witness.
Yeah, the witness was also
there's no,
smoking
yeah,
drugs. Everybody, they were
yeah,
all at a party. They were all smoking crack. We killed them all.
yeah. I think it's fucked up, and I don't think it's fair.
Yeah,
But I think the people
yeah. The
were okay
average
with it.
person, on average, is happy about it because their life was shit and like
Hmm.
everything was getting ruined by drugs. From their
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
I mean, I think that's the people you elected. That's
Yeah.
a consequence that you deal with.
Yeah.
It's a democratic country. Let's go.
Yeah, democracy, very good shit. Okay, earlier we were talking about before the podcast started. You said not everybody eats beans and rice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do people like you eat? What do fancy boys eat?
Rice.
Oh, I see.
Just not beans. Yeah.
Because what
Rice
we were saying, you're saying that cooking is what, too much
is
trouble?
yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to cook? What does your family cook that you're grateful for, or what do you go buy that you're grateful that it exists?
Just normal stuff like rice, meat, vegetable.
Wait, so why
And
can't
I
you cook
think,
that?
I mean, I can. It's just pain ass. I would rather just buy,
Mm.
right? Because it's way well, yeah, it's faster.
Is it?
I think so.
You think you can go buy some beans and rice quicker than I can cook some beans and rice?
Not no, but if I can buy like a whole meal faster than you can cook, like
Really?
maybe chicken, uh,
Yeah,
broccoli, and
chicken. I need
rice.
like 20 minutes if it's chicken, maybe.
Yeah, but I can just get McDonald's
Yeah, but how long
instantly.
that you gotta go get dressed? You gotta go outside. Ugh.
I can call Uber Eats,
Oh,
right?
that's true.
I think
But how
is
long will
the
Uber Eats? I think I might be able to beat Uber Eats.
sure, but Uber Eats is like I press two button, I go to the door,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't have to wash the vegetables.
Now,
I
what
don't
if you
have
also
to
had to work for your money? See, now you consider that not only, yeah, you don't have to cook your food, but to order
uh-huh.
that Uber Eats, you have to go work at McDonald's for 1 hour.
Yeah, but when I cook food, I still have to buy those food and I still have to pay for them.
Oh
Yeah, I pay
yeah.
extra, sure.
So how much money? Yeah, what is the okay? So if my meal costs $5, how
Mhm.
much do you think it costs to get it from Uber Eats? Like 6, 7?
Probably 10.
Damn, twice as much. Fuck.
Hmm.
I
If
guess
not
with
more.
I guess with things like Uber Eats, the more you order at once, the less percentage. Like if I order $5 of food, it might cost 10, but if I order $50 of food, it might only cost like 60 or 70. Like it's not like double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the cost of eating out here is so cheap. So
Well, yeah, that's true.
it's pretty worth like say it's very comparable to like buying your own groceries and cooking it.
Yeah.
Like a good meal here, well, not a good one, but just like rice with three different type of vegetable
Hmm.
and a type of protein, so meat or fish,
Yeah.
costs around $3 or $4
That's not
US.
bad.
Yeah, and if I eat or just McDonald's, a combo with medium fries and a medium drink
Hmm.
costs $5 US.
That's about
So
normal. That's good.
if I cook, not counting my labor, just or gas,
How much is
right?
your labor
Just the
worth?
right now probably negative, but okay. So I'm just counting like not counting gas or anything, just groceries. It's
Hmm.
probably maybe $3.5, right? It's not that much
So
cheaper.
if you cook, you are earning the equivalent of like $3 an hour. That's pretty good, man.
Is it? Right? Is it?
For
Is it
Taiwan,
really?
what's the average wage in Taiwan?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
The minimum wage is 6 US,
Damn.
$60 around there, give or take. I think let me check.
Now, do you think that
Minimum.
scales? Like, is everything in Taiwan like 3 or 4 times cheaper?
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, like everyday stuff, sure, but you see a lot of stuff are not. Like it's like international price, like PC
Oh
components,
yeah, that's true.
like iPhone's gonna cost the
So the
same.
average Taiwanese person must have like a much worse PC and much worse phone than you.
Not really.
Hmm.
Like I think since food and like stuff are like other stuff like everyday use are a lot cheaper, people are more willing to spend more money on like
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess it's not that
I,
much more anyway.
And it's not the minimum wage is not that low. It's like $6 sure is very low, but in the
Well, yeah,
U.S.
in some
federal
places
minimum
in the
wage
US, it's
is
like 9 or 10.
7.2,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So sure, it's kind of shit, but everything else is pretty cheap. Other than
Yeah.
houses, houses are expensive as
Oh, is the
fuck.
housing market there very... Dude, what do you think is going to happen about all that? Because this is going to be like a
Nothing's gonna
serious
happen.
issue.
Nothing's gonna happen. Rich people own all the houses,
Yeah, something's
so
got to happen, dude. Come on.
no way. People are hoping it crash. There's no way. You see the Canadian mortgage officers do like l- unless you have the money, they don't even give you the mortgage. It's not even like, oh, you have a good job or you have a government job, they
Mm,
give you a mortgage. Like the bar is so high because all these foreign people, like they don't care. Like it's not gonna crash. It's not a bubble. Like it's backed with fucking Chinese money. It's not. People are talking. Oh my god, the price is sky high. It's a
mhm.
bubble. It's gonna burst. But it only burst in 2008 because even in 2008, Canada wasn't even
Well,
that
that
bad.
was a whole other... That was like a financial issue with like credit
Yeah,
swaps and like these other things.
but it's basically housing market, right? People are not
Yeah,
can pay, and then the mortgage uh interest rate went sky high,
yeah.
and people default, and basically the housing market crash. But the thing is, there's no housing market that's gonna crash here. It will lower it. Okay, as soon as the market lowers, like by say 5%,
Mhm.
there's a bunch of people jumping in already.
Well, that's
People
what I
are
mean. Do you think...
on the edge of buying the house, but they can't because of inflation or just price increase.
Yeah.
But as soon as you say, "Oh, it's gonna crash," it's not gonna crash. It will go down a little bit, and then it will be filled instantly by the people
Do you
that are
think
trying to
that
buy.
there's going to be some sort of like government intervention in all of this?
No, because
Because
in
at the end
Canada,
of the
at least,
day,
no.
there's so many people who are getting so fucking poor. Like,
Mhm.
isn't there like some sort of inevitable like riots?
Revolution? No.
I mean, people have been rioting over some real pathetic shit lately.
Mhm.
You don't think
I think
you don't think people are gonna riot over this?
no.
Hmm.
Well, they will, but nothing will come of it.
But when you
People are
take
just gonna
people's
get put in
houses,
jail.
like I understand that. Like at the end of the day, people have the power; they just don't realize it, right? And it
Yeah.
has to be a lot of the people. But at the end of the day, if everybody in the U.S. was like, "Dude, we
Mhm.
want to switch to the yuan," then it would
Mhm.
just happen. Like if
Sure.
everybody agreed, then they would just do it.
But it will never happen.
Exactly. But when it comes to
So
taking people's houses and
mhm.
not giving people any like food or water or money to live, I feel like
Mhm.
people are forced to
No.
try to do
You
something.
see, majority of Canadian are still house owners. So it's just
Is it
people
though?
bitch about it. Those people,
I feel
it
like it's
is.
getting to the
No,
point
no,
where
no, no. It's
it's getting to the point where
no,
it's
no, no, no,
not.
no. It still is, at least in like last 2 years or
Mm,
2019. It's at least it's still majority of Canadian are still house owner. At least the voter, the people that vote are still majority house owners. So all the bitching you see on the internet,
yeah.
those people either don't vote or they're just the minority that is yelling. So it doesn't matter. These majority of the house owner vote for the people that are obviously going to protect their interests, which is increasing the house market, decreasing in new buildings, like
Mm,
zoning, increase the zoning laws, right? So they're gonna protect the interests of the elite class for sure.
yeah, they are
And
saying that
I don't think it's gonna anything is gonna change in the near future, at least in the next 20 years.
68.55% own houses.
Hmm.
So how do all these people how do the poorer people get out of
Hmm.
this? Where it's
They
like,
don't.
okay,
They just
I make this much money per year and
uh
I don't have enough money for a down payment, but rent is like $3,000 per year per month.
yeah,
So what do? They're just fucked.
yeah, basically.
Now, you don't think that that widespread like misery will cause anything?
It's not widespread. That's the
That's
problem.
still 30% of people, still a lot.
Yeah, but that's not enough.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Mm,
And that's why it's been this way for 20 years, and it will be this way till something change.
till the end of
Till
time.
the richer of the house owner kicks out the poor house owners, and then those house owner becomes renters. Then
Yeah.
maybe something will change. But
Well, it's
until
because
then,
in like really poor countries, like let's say like if everybody in China or India was like the rural areas was like angry about something, well, they can't really
just
do
run
anything.
tanks over them.
Yeah, they don't have any resources.
Hmm.
But in first world countries, we have like, especially in America, one of the good things about like the Second Amendment is that the government, it's like actually very hard for the government to just like run
We don't have
tanks
Second
over
Amendment in
everybody.
Canada.
Is there?
No, there's no second. The
Uh,
Second Amendment is not
yeah,
right
yeah,
to
that's what I'm saying. I
bear
said
arms.
America. In America.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In
Uh,
America, maybe,
yeah,
but in Canada,
it's like
it's not gonna
it's
work.
hard for the government to just run tanks over everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
So, do you think enough people in the States will get mad about this and do something?
in the States, I'm not sure.
Mm,
Maybe. I don't know. I think people are too selfish in the States to do any sort of
like a good
this kind of
movement to
protest.
like join together and like hold
Hmm.
hands.
And actually use their guns. I don't
Hmm.
think people are brave enough to do it.
Yeah. I
Or
mean, I also think that a lot of people are comfortable living in like pretty horrible conditions
yes, and I
and just
think
complaining about it without actually like being willing to give
yeah,
up their
I
life.
think majority of people complaining don't actually want to do anything, and they
Yeah.
just want something to change.
Yeah.
So they're okay with paying rent.
Well, it's like
They're
there's
just
people
not
living in a
happy
ghetto.
about
There's
it.
people living in a ghetto. They work like two jobs. They make no money. They can barely afford their shitty house. There's crime everywhere. And they just keep on
And
living. And yeah.
there's still cheap housing out there. They just don't want to live there. Like
Well,
you
yeah.
can go where Eiffel lives. Oh well, someone we know, right? The house there probably $12,000.
Well, you don't want to live in
There's
Baltimore, man? Come on.
houses in Detroit that cost $1. Are you gonna live there? No, but you're gonna complain there's no houses, right?
Mm.
So I mean, I think people are not to the point where they're desperate enough to use their guns to overthrow the government because there's no housing. Because there will be housing. It's just not affordable. Like you
So
can't purchase it. You
what
can rent
percentage
it.
of homelessness do you think needs to be before it's like so much that there's a problem?
No idea. This is not my
Apparently, there's only 0.2% homeless right now, and 65% of them are handled by shelters. So the real
yeah. So
homeless
there's
number in the US is like 0.066, which is
that's a
very,
lot
very
of people.
small. It's a lot of
Yeah, but
people, but percentage
yeah,
is very small.
yeah. And I think you need a lot more people, and even those people aren't.
Yeah, how many homeless people? Like some of them are
Yeah,
begging for money. Like, again, most of them are sheltered, so they're fine. Then the other
and
ones, like
guns are
half of the
expensive.
35%, they probably make enough money begging, and then they kind of live an okay life anyway.
Yeah, and guns are expensive. Where are you gonna get guns to shoot the government? Right?
You beg, man. Beg outside a gun store. Beg for bullets instead of money.
Yeah. As if those gun nuts will give you free guns.
I just want some shells. Beg for
You
used
give them
shell. Beg for
guns.
some gunpowder.
See, this is not what I'm about to say. I do not condone.
Mm.
Okay. If you get a gun as a homeless person,
Uh-huh.
why not just rob a bank or a
Oh,
store?
yeah.
You have a better chance than overthrow the government and put in someone that will actually make changes.
Mm.
Like you overthrow government, next people you put in will be a fucking fake person that will just abuse the power, and then
Oh.
and then if you rob a grocery store, maybe you get more money. I
Yeah, get
think
some bread.
maybe you can, yeah,
Yeah.
or rob a bank and get a
Okay,
house.
so if you are oppressed by your government, commit local crimes against other people
Exactly.
instead of fixing.
Or better
See,
idea yet, you
that's
can
why the ghettos.
squat in someone's houses. There's squatter laws, right? You
Oh.
squat in, you go find an empty house
Ah.
and you live in it
See,
long enough.
Peter has a survivor's mentality.
Exactly. Those houses become yours, by the way. Look up the law. Like, find the one that takes the shortest amount of time, where if you live there long enough, it becomes yours.
Mm.
And then do that. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a better way to solve backup housing.
Yeah, for yourself.
Yes. Because I don't think enough people will. People are so
The
selfish.
sad thing is that most people think this way unironically.
You see, you know what will happen? Say there's 10 million people rising up, and United States decide, okay, I'll give you 3 million of you guys houses, and you stop protesting.
Oh yeah, like will they say no, we want.
And if you don't take it, I'll give you someone else in the 10 million.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet all 3 million will take the house and then just shut up about
Oh,
it?
for sure. Maybe not the first, maybe not the first 3 million exactly, but like 2 million of the first.
House will be gone.
Yeah. And
then they will be like, oh my god, what did I give up this house?
Yeah, and then I'll be like, there's only 1 million left.
And then there will be nothing left, right? So it's not gonna work. Nothing is. I'm a glass half empty kind of guy. So I think it's not gonna work.
Well, you're kind of right.
Might as well think for yourself.
Things need to get pretty bad before people will like join together to like actually revolt.
Yeah, you have to starve like 10 million people, and then run over them with tanks, and then it still didn't work. People stopped talking in China.
Yeah, they don't want to get squished.
Well, better look out for yourself.
Yeah,
a squatted house.
Speaking of looking out for yourself, your favorite YouTuber, Nikocado Avocado, he's been looking out for himself lately. You seen that video where he's talking about all the poor people?
Oh, did he?
He's like, I'm up here in my nice apartment looking down at all these poor people.
Oh my god. I've been watching him eat like noodles for like past 6 videos.
Oh yeah?
It's pretty funny.
How do you think, how much of his thing do you think is an act?
I think
do you think he's actually miserable that he's fat, or do you think he doesn't care?
I think he's miserable, but he's also happy that he's rich. Like, I think it can be both, right?
So money solves all problems, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, enough money. Like, if China offers me enough money to betray Taiwan, I would. Like,
hypothetically.
Yeah. I'm not saying I would, right? Obviously not. But
well, if Peter's not here for the next podcast, you know why.
Yeah, I think there's enough. I think there's a price for everything. People say, "Oh, integrity or whatever." There's no integrity.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking about this the other day with John Cena. You're already famous. You've been famous for 20 years. You have tens of millions of dollars. Everybody likes you. Everybody has a good opinion of you.
If I pay you 10 million to say fuck Taiwan,
still you go to China and you say fuck Taiwan. It's not a Cǎonímǎ. Taiwan is not a real country. I apologize for saying it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine, but what is wrong with him? What is his mental regardation? Yeah, but he already has money. He already has money.
You don't have enough money.
Look, if it was you, I would say, you're a piece of shit, but I understand. But he's already rich.
Yeah, but
what does he need, man? Oh, come on, he's so rich. He's in like Peacemaker and all this other shit. Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
he's so rich and famous.
You can never be rich enough.
But do you believe that for yourself? Okay, so let's say you had $5 million. Let's say you had $5 million. Would you still be like willing to shit on your morals for more money?
Yes.
Okay, what if you had $100 million? Like, where do you draw the line? For you personally,
$100 million?
Yeah, for you personally.
I would, but you still have to offer me more money, right? Like, okay,
so but why do you need more money?
Okay, you see, if I only have $5 million,
yeah,
and you only offer me, and you offer me $1 million to betray my morals, sure, right?
Yeah.
But if I am a billionaire and you only offer me $1 million to do it, then fuck no.
But you already have $1 billion.
You offer me.
But what if I offered you $1 billion when you have $1 billion? Why do you need the second billion?
Why not? Right? I think it's I think
it's your morals, man.
Well, that doesn't count.
See,
I think
my line is so much
Mhm.
lower than yours. If I had even
Yeah.
$1 million, maybe even like 500K,
Yeah.
I would like already stop compromising my morals.
I think morals are just suggestions.
They are.
I think the thing is, okay, so it depends. I think, say if China tells me to defect to them, right?
Yeah.
Then normally it will cost me it'll cost them $1 million. But
Yeah.
if the opposition is China, then maybe it will cost them $2 million. Like, sure, I hate you, but maybe I only hate you for an extra million. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, of
I
course.
think there's always a
Well, it's
price.
like how much, what is my price to do this versus what is my price to do
Maybe I'm
that?
just not rich enough. Maybe when I have $1 billion, I will turn down another
Well,
billion.
that's what
Who
I'm
knows?
saying. Like my line
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
like where I don't have a price anymore is like probably like 500K
I don't think I
because I
will
don't need
ever
that much
have it.
money.
No price. Yeah.
Like I just don't need it. And if I had like $100 million,
Mhm,
why would I care? You could offer me $1 trillion. Why would I care? What am I gonna do with
mhm.
it?
You can buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but what do I need?
You can buy. Okay, you can be Jeff Bezos,
Yeah,
right? You
but I don't
can
want to be
buy
Jeff
a super
Bezos.
yacht and break up a bridge and then rebuild it. Then break it up
But
again, then
why?
rebuild it.
I don't even
And
want to go on a super yacht, man. I want to
see,
live
that's
on
where you
land.
well, you see, he lives on land too. He just want to do it for fun, right? So he's that rich. He can do that. You can't. If you only have 1 billion, it might cost you 300 million. Then fuck,
That's too
you only do
much.
that 3 times,
Yeah, that's
and you
true.
can't do it. But if I give you another billion, you can do that 3 extra
I
times.
guess I don't have these like big aspirations.
I think,
It's like
yeah,
Vladimir
maybe,
Putin lives in a $10 billion palace or whatever, like the leak.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, why would you even want a 10? It's like, it's too big. I'll get tired walking from my room to the kitchen. Like,
You don't have to walk. Someone, you
somebody will
see,
carry me.
exactly. It's because you never
But then I'll become
experienced those
fat. Then I'll
things.
become fat and decrepit.
No, you see, Putin is fit as fuck. He's
Is
like
he?
how old? Like 70? He's so fit. He's super fit. He's I don't know. He probably trains like a soldier still. Like he's
Oh yeah.
pretty
Well,
fit.
he's in
Last
okay
time I
shape.
seen.
I wouldn't say super
Yeah,
fit, but he looks okay.
he's old as fuck, right?
Yeah, but you
And
look at
he's in that shape.
like uh like somebody like this guy. I
I
probably
can see your screen, so
yeah. I'll send it.
yeah,
Like somebody. Oh fuck! It didn't even work. Anyway,
yeah. I don't know,
dude, yeah. The
but
point is that there's like people who are like more serious, like bodybuilder types.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, he's fit, right?
Yeah, he looks okay.
So
Putin.
I'm just saying, you can live in $1 billion house, and I think once you get enough money, you start wanting power. So, you know,
Well, that's what I mean.
so
Like, why do they want it so bad?
it's fun,
Is it?
I think. Yeah.
Is it?
Because I don't think you
Do you think
experience.
Putin is like the happiest person on the planet because I get to order people around and kill who I want and like
I think he's happier than a lot of people.
yeah, probably. But is it like the
I
key? And what about Jeff Bezos? Is
I
that
think
guy
he's happier
pogging?
than
Is he having a great time?
fuck yeah. He has houses with
Mm.
like 100
Okay, what
bathrooms.
about Mark
Sure, it's
Zuckerberg? You ever see Mark Zuckerberg like talk and
uh-huh.
like film his
I
barbecue?
bet Zuckerberg is happy as fuck. I
Yeah, but
think he
doesn't he
just
seem like really weird?
yeah. I think maybe he just has autism.
But you think he's
Autism
happy just because he has money to buy some shit?
for sure.
Hmm.
I think people say, "Oh, happiness doesn't bad. You can buy happiness with money," and people are like, "Oh, it's once you're over 100K, it's diminished or whatever." I
Hmm.
think it's all bullshit because you're not rich enough.
Hmm.
I think sure the threshold for everybody for most people maybe 100K, but that's because you never experience the next bracket.
Hmm.
I don't know where the next bracket is. Maybe $100 million, maybe 1 billion, but I think people are only content with 100K because they never experienced the
Hmm.
actual elite level
Hmm.
of money. I think that's my opinion. I think.
I think for a lot of people, you're probably right because they have things they want, but they treat it as a fantasy.
I think
And
a
if
lot of
they
stuff
had that
they
much
want, they
money,
don't even know it's out there.
yeah.
Like,
But I think for somebody like
yeah.
me, where it's like, there's like nothing that I do want.
But there's still stuff nice to have, right?
Is there?
I think so. Like,
Oh, I
I'm
like
very.
eating beans and rice, man. That shit tastes real
That's
good.
just stupid. I think. I understand. I think you just haven't tried like what Jeff Bezos ate for breakfast. That's why you think beans and rice is good. I I I think
What do you think Jeff Bezos eats? Do you think Gordon Ramsay never eats beans and rice?
he does,
At the
but
end of the day, Gordon Ramsay eats better than Jeff Bezos. Agree?
probably.
Yeah. So do you think that
Yeah,
Gordon Ramsay never eats some, like just some chicken?
rarely. I would bet he probably
Yeah, I don't
eats a
know.
lot nicer.
I would like to know. I want to talk to him. We need Gordon Ramsay on the podcast.
Yeah. We need Jeff Bezos on the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, but see,
I think that's a
I'm
more
worried that he has such a uh like a
once you eat
damaged
beans and
view.
rice, fuck.
I feel like he has such a damaged view of reality that it's not good to ask him. But somebody like Gordon Ramsay who worked his way up.
Yeah, but Gordon Ramsay is not nearly as rich.
If
Like we're
I talk to
closer to
Gordon,
Gordon Ramsay than he is to Jeff Bezos. So
no,
it's not
because
definitely true.
when you think about it, um, in terms of food, like if we're talking only about like rich living in terms of food, Gordon Ramsay is going to be like one of the best experts because he has tried food from like all
Yes,
cultures.
but I think everyday living, he doesn't eat those. Like even he cannot afford to eat.
Oh, of
Like,
course he can. Come on, dude. How expensive do you think fucking food is, man?
I don't know. Like I don't know what Jeff
What
Bezos eats, but I'm just saying. No, I'm saying the level
what
of
food do you
wealth.
think, dude? Gordon
No,
Ramsay
I'm
is
just
worth.
saying.
Okay,
No,
hold
you have
on.
to listen to me. Listen to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I'm saying
Gordon
the
Ramsay is
level
worth
of wealth,
$220 million. Okay.
and Jeff Bezos is worth $200 billion.
Yeah. So what food do you think costs?
And you know how big a difference that is? Like,
But what food is out there that costs? First of all, Gordon Ramsay's closer to
maybe,
Bezos than we are to Gordon Ramsay because he's only 1,000 times off. We're like a million
uh,
times off.
are you sure? And that maybe speak
How
for
much money
yourself,
how much
right?
money do you have?
Maybe I'm. Let's see.
You need
Is he really
220k. If you have 220k cash,
easy?
then you're closer.
And let me see. He's actually worth that much?
Of
Holy
course
shit.
he is. How fucking poor do you think he is, man? He's the most famous chef for fucking so long. He has a million television shows.
Is he? Let me see.
Your ideas of wealth
Oh,
are all fucked up, man.
yeah. Let's see.
Even Jay-Z. Jay-Z's worth like $1 billion or some shit, isn't he?
Yeah. He's definitely worth.
Exactly. All these people at the top of your field, you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. This is how it is.
Yeah, but I think Jeff Bezos is like another level.
Well, first of all, the amount of disposable income that Jeff Bezos has versus Gordon Ramsay probably pretty similar. Because Jeff Bezos' money is heavily tied up in Amazon stocks.
Yeah, but he can they get loans with those stocks.
Yeah, but is he gonna do that for what?
That's what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not taking out $100 billion worth of loan to spend it on nothing.
No, obviously not. No.
That's what I mean. He probably only has like $10-20 million to spend on things. Like he's not spending like hundreds of millions of dollars on all sorts of shit all the time.
Well, yeah, when he has a project and then he sells like he's scheduled to sell his stocks, right?
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like day to day, you really think Jeff Bezos is spending more money than Gordon Ramsay? What's he spending money on?
I'm not sure.
Like maybe honestly, a new car.
I don't even know.
But that's what I mean. They're spending it on like cars and shit. Like in terms of food
and houses.
In terms of food, the only things that would fall into the category of like Jeff Bezos can have this every day and Gordon Ramsay can't is like 100-year-old wine. Yeah, like 1,000-year-old wine.
Yeah.
Like who gives a shit? When we're talking about like caviar, really when we're talking about the best foods in the world, the price is only like a couple $1,000s. Like it's not out of reach.
Yeah. I mean, Gordon Ramsay can definitely do that, but I don't think he does. Like,
Yeah, but exactly. And if he doesn't, what that means is that the food isn't that good. Because if it was that good, he would eat that way all the time. Don't you remember Warren Buffett, dude? What does Warren Buffett eat?
Yeah,
you remember?
Garbage.
Yeah, he's fucking McDonald's, baby. He eats McDonald's and Diet Coke.
Yeah, he lives
See?
in a
And how much money did that motherfucker have? That guy had $100 billion when Jeff Bezos only had 5.
You see, that guy is probably like you, where
that's on. It's all the same, man. No, it's all the same.
Majority of the people are more like Bezos when they have the money.
No, we're talking about specifically only about food right now.
Oh,
food is not that complex.
Yeah. I think so, but I think it's just general quality of life when you're that rich. It's very different. Like, there's definitely...
Yeah, but in what sense? Warren Buffett wakes up, eats some McDonald's, types on his computer, trades some stocks.
Yeah, but I don't think you're understanding me right now. Like, that thing is like 90 years old, but okay. So,
why you don't masturbate at 90? Come on, man.
Like, it's hard to argue with this, but I'm just saying, when you're at that level, like,
I want you to give me an example of what.
Way more stuff.
But you keep saying there's way more stuff, but I want an example. Like, I want. Jeff Bezos got to fly in his spaceship. Sure, that's one example.
And I think having a better house, better car.
Yeah, better than what? Oh, my house is worth 100 million. Yours is only worth 50 million. You fucking.
yeah. No. Okay, see, maybe there's a limit, but you see, 100K is definitely not it. 100K a year is definitely not it.
Of course.
And I say,
but we're talking about super rich versus super rich right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said
no, because you said it's never enough.
Oh yeah. No. But what I said was, I think people are saying you can buy happiness with money, and have only
right now
100K.
Right now, I think the line
that's not true.
Right now, I think the line is 300K a year. If you make over 300K a year,
that's not true. That's not close. I don't think it's.
No, I'm saying diminishing, like heavily diminishing. If you make 300K a year,
maybe. I think once you maybe, what if you earn? No, I think it's diminishing, right?
Like heavily diminishing. If you make 300K a year versus $1 million a year, I think your happiness will heavily depend on if you have a good relationship, way more than your money.
Live, right? I think it matters. Like, a lot of stuff are one time, sure, yeah, right? Like, say a house and a car, right? Those are, say, one-time purchase.
Sure. Well, maybe in that sense, you're right, because if you make 10 million a year, then you can retire and not have to work at all. So,
and I think also, like, a lot of, like, I guess one-time purchase, or maybe like every couple years you buy like the newest stuff, right?
Sure.
And sure, I think for most people, maybe 300K, you get like the newest. You don't get to buy
not the newest car or the newest house, but everything else.
Yeah, but you see, and you still have to work, and then I think for Bezos, if you see a new car, or not even Bezos, anyone who earns like maybe 5 mil a year, if you see a new car, he can just buy it without having to plan it or to do anything. And if he, like, there's a lot more.
But do you think that actually makes him that much happier? Do you think he gives a shit?
I think so, and I think it also comes with power. Like Bezos, if he wants to watch the Spider-Man movie early, right?
Sure.
I bet he can get in with connections.
Yeah, but he's watching the Spider-Man movie, so he's wasting his life. Shitty movie, man.
Maybe he enjoys that. See, the power gives you a lot.
And he has bad tastes.
Yeah.
You want to be a billionaire with bad tastes?
Yeah.
Would you rather be Jeff Bezos or Martin Scorsese?
He gets to talk to like anyone he wants, basically. If he wants to call Biden today, he probably can, and he can fly a helicopter.
But why would you want to talk to Joe Biden, man?
Well, maybe you don't, right? But some people do. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of life is that?
Yeah,
cool. You can talk to Joe Biden. You can go watch Spider-Man early.
Yeah, but what if you want to talk to Jay-Z, right? Maybe you want to talk to
Jay-Z will talk to Jeff Bezos. Jay-Z probably hates Jeff Bezos.
What if you want to hire Gordon Ramsay to cook for you every
Gordon Ramsay
day?
will probably say, "Fuck you, man."
Yeah, with enough money, I bet he will say
That's
yes.
what Gordon Ramsay will say to Jeff Bezos.
I bet Gordon Ramsay will say yes if you pay him $1 million a day.
Gordon Ramsay doesn't care about money, dude.
Yeah, sure.
Gordon Ramsay, you think
He
Gordon Ramsay
has
gives
like
a fuck?
10 billion shows.
Yeah, you think he gives a fuck about money?
I think he does.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude.
He sells out all the time.
I think he enjoys it. Have you watched the shows? I think he's having a good time.
Yeah,
I think he's happy. I think he's having a great time.
I don't know. I think he still does it for money still most of the time.
I think if he did it for money, he would be wearing a shirt with Amazon logo on
it. And going to Jeff Bezos' house to cook for him every day.
Exactly.
Honestly, I think you underestimate.
I think you overestimate how greedy people are. I think poor people are greedy. I don't think rich people continue to be greedy for money the way you think.
I think no. You see, when you have more wealth, the more power you have, and I think that comes with a lot more stuff that you don't care about, but I think a lot of people do. Like,
okay, do you think Bill Gates gives a shit?
I think he's too old to care, but when
but I mean, even when he was younger, like after he,
I think he does.
After he got rich, do you really think he cared? He seems like such a nice guy when I hear him talk. You think he's like role playing?
No, I think he's definitely role playing. He killed. I think he's definitely fucking role playing. And I think there's a lot more privileged with when it comes with money. Like, you want to go in the restaurant, it's fully booked.
Yeah, Dorsia. I want a reservation at Dorsia.
Yeah, and then if you're Bezos, I'm sure they'll kick someone out for you.
Yeah, Paul Allen can get a reservation.
I think there's a lot more power come with the money that these people have, like very rich people. I mean,
I just don't. I
don't
think it makes them happy. That's.
I don't think you care enough.
I don't think that they are happy. How many billionaires do you think go to therapy?
I think most of them.
Exactly.
They're sociopath.
Yeah. So do you think they're happy? Yeah. Do you think they're happy?
I think so. I think they're happier than most people.
I don't know. I mean, happier than most people, sure. Happier than average, but it's easy to be happier than average. Most people are fucking miserable.
Yeah. I mean, okay,
even you're happier than most people.
I think most people have to work 40 hours a week, getting mediocre pay.
Yeah. So let's, instead of comparing them to wage slaves, compare them to people who are either retired or don't have to work.
I still think they're happier because they get to have unlimited fund for their hobby, and then.
But when you pay to win in BDO, are you actually having more fun than somebody who grinds?
Probably. I don't know. I think so.
Do you think pay to win is fun?
I don't.
Pay to win is fucking boring, man.
I mean, life is pay to win.
Exactly. So. Doesn't that make shit boring if you just pay to win?
No.
Imagine playing poker, but you have $1 billion.
Yeah, it's fun.
So then it's fucking boring as shit, man.
I think
that would be like me and you playing poker, and I'm betting 1 penny. So why is that fun? It's not fun anymore. There's no risk.
You gotta go to space.
There's no risk. There's no. Yeah, I go to space and I fly around in a ship and I float around.
You get to throw your car into space. You get to do all sort of bullshit. Like
that's like a zoomer. That's like a zoomer fantasy.
You get to dig a tunnel under a city, and that's garbage. But
that's like a 12-year-old who plays Fortnite. That's what he gets excited about.
I think you just underestimate how much stuff that you get to do. Like sure, it's not your cup of tea, but I'm sure when you have the money, you would do something that you want that people.
If I had $100 billion, the only thing
you tell me you won't get it. Yeah.
My expense would be to build like a completely soundproof compound, so I hear no noise from outside.
Yeah.
Other than that,
you can do that with maybe $1 million, maybe less.
Well, yeah. I mean, like huge. I want like a huge wall. I want to be like no disturb. I want to like in the middle of the city. Suddenly, there's a Great Wall of China.
Okay, and you're not gonna hire a 5-star chef?
Yeah, I'll hire Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. And he's gonna ask you for $1 million a day.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're gonna have to have $100 billion.
Yeah, I'll need $100 trillion. I'll give him. I'll give him $10 million a day.
Yeah. You see, I think there's a lot of quality of life. It's cheap. Yeah, like you said, you don't need like that level of wealth. Like maybe you just need like 300K, maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
you can have high quality of life.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think you get to access a lot more stuff that you like.
I just don't think
even,
that stuff that you unlock is very appealing.
I think so. I think it's
I think
somewhat.
having nicer food is good, not
Yeah,
amazing.
but that's not very expensive.
I think having
Like you
somebody to
said,
cook for you is well. That's why I think it's very diminishing after a few 100,000 per year.
I think
Like
the stuff that you can do is way more interesting with power. This is why.
well, that's why you're like a dictator. You know, like you will become president of China, and I will become like what was that
Running
guy?
people
What
over
was that
with
guy that Copy
tanks.
really likes? Democracy for the people, of the people, but the people, you know, are regarded. That guy, that's me, and then you're Xi Jinping.
Yeah. Imagine your hobby is running people over with tanks. You can't do that when you're poor. Okay?
Hey man, I guess everybody enjoys different things, yeah.
Exactly.
Do you think the person in the tank was like really excited?
Probably not. Unless he's getting paid $100 billion.
Yeah, per squish.
Exactly.
1,000 USD per squish.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. I do think.
Well, wait. This all started from the cuisine conversation. What do you eat day to day? That is like what is a complex food that is nice to have prepared? Because when people ask me, sometimes my father will ask me, like, do you know how to cook? And then I'll be like, yeah, I cook all the time. And he's like, are you a good cook? And it's like, I don't know how to answer that question. Like, the food I make is good, but it's simple. So what do you eat day to day that isn't simple? Like, what's like a fancy meal that you eat? Like, I don't eat anything that requires like a million. Like, I use a lot of spices. I don't really consider it fancy.
I think it's just annoying to have to fry your own stuff.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, like, just day to day, like, whether you order it or not. Like, is there anything, or your family cooks it? Is there any, like, fancy meal that you have or that you really like, that you would consider fancy?
If I order?
Yeah, if you order it, or if you go to a restaurant, or your family makes it, or whatever, like. What's, like, a complex meal?
I think, like, dim sum.
So what's dim sum?
You know, like those, it's like snacks, like, it's a, I guess, how do I put it? It's like a Hong Kong style, like, meal.
Sure.
Where you order, like, dumplings or, like, chicken feet, or, like, it's like a very small plate or a lot of stuff prepared, like, usually with steam.
Oh, yeah.
So and it's very,
wait, so why do they call it dim sum? Like, what's different about it than just dumplings and shit? Like, what makes it dim sum?
If you look it up, here,
sure.
I'll spell it for you.
Well, it's just DIMSUM, no?
Huh?
DIMSUM?
Yep. And you look at images.
Let me read the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Dim sum is a large range of small Chinese dishes that are traditionally enjoyed at restaurants for so it's like almost like a buffet type of idea.
When you usually order them, or they come around with cards and then you pick them.
I see.
And if you look at the pictures, then you see it's like,
oh yeah.
It's nice to have, because they make large amount of each stuff, right? But
yeah, like this would be very annoying to cook at home because you're cooking only like 5 of each.
Yeah.
What kind of like what's inside the dumplings?
Well, there's shrimp, there's pork. Like, it depends on which one you like. Yeah. And there's all kinds. There's beef or.
Have you ever tried those 1,000-year eggs?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Quite popular here. I don't like it, but a lot of people do. It's usually eat with porridge or tofu, and because it's kind of the tofu doesn't have a lot of taste, and it's quite heavy. The egg is quite heavy. That's why they eat with porridge. Porridge also doesn't have a lot of taste.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they put like very thick soy sauce on it.
I don't think I like soy sauce.
It's very popular here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What else happened? Elon Musk, getting in trouble for abusing and killing the monkeys that they were testing the neural link on.
I think that's bad, but
Wait, animal testing in general.
If people know how much stuff they're testing on animal, they will freak out. Like cosmetics,
Yeah.
or just like
Yeah.
shampoo, or
Well, there's like a very
makeup.
famous example where it's my understanding that we know the cure for hypothermia, because during World War II, they experimented on prisoners and like froze them alive, like
I believe it.
chopped them alive. Like Japanese prisoners of wars were like heavily tortured.
Yeah. Like unit something. I don't
Yeah,
remember the number.
731. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And because they tortured these people, they found like very good medical results.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
it's like how much suffering is worth, like, okay, so we tested on animals and then we get a cure for COVID. Well, would it be better to not make those animals sick and then more humans die? Like, I mean, how do you...
I am a human race.
Human master race?
Yes.
Mm.
Does that make me a racist?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I read the other day, somebody was basically saying, where did AIDS start? And then the guy said, it started when we were monkeys back when we were animals. So apparently we're not animals anymore. We've evolved from animals. We're now superior.
So, well then, yeah. So I guess I'm racist against
non-humans.
Yeah.
Non-intelligent life.
I'm okay with cats and dogs.
That's an interesting take for
kind of goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not dogs, but definitely cats.
Dude, I've heard some horrible things about like wild rabid dogs in like Russia and like other poor countries.
Yeah.
Like you gotta stay away from. They'll eat you alive, man.
And they have like all sorts of disease.
Yeah,
shit.
That's horrible.
I think testing on monkeys is nothing new.
Well, yeah, it's like they do it all the time. Mice, monkeys, whatever.
It's just fucked up because people,
Well, yeah, it sucks. I mean, like at the end of the day, it would be nice if we could avoid it. But how do we progress things? Well, then we do human testing. So do we just rely on volunteers? But I mean, it's like you're gonna die. Like you can't volunteer to like get your fucking brain chipped.
Why not?
It's too dangerous.
I think if you, well, no. People get. I think it's okay. I think if you compensate it well enough.
Yeah, but how do you compensate that?
You pay their family.
Yeah, how much?
Enough that they're willing to do it.
100K, 100 million, 300K?
It's capitalism,
Where's the diminishing return?
Let's go. Yeah. Capitalism, baby.
Lowest bidder.
You want to die? Sure. You want to die like Nikocado Avocado?
Yeah.
It's your freedom.
Well, that's when
Did
you start.
See the news?
What news?
OpenSea got confirmed hackers stole NFT worth 1.2 mil. So one picture running 32 users. Here.
From 32 users?
Yeah, the article if you want to show. Just saw the news from 6 hours ago.
Oh, it's fresh. OpenSea confirms hackers stole NFTs worth 1.25 million from 1.25 million euros from 32 users.
Just issue new ones. It's not like they're real.
254 NFTs.
Okay, but I think it's whatever. Like those people knew the risk, and they say it's worth 1.2 mil. I doubt it's worth 1.2.
Oh yeah, I mean the reality, they're worth maybe $1.2.
Yeah, I think they just inflated. Like I sell it to you for 500K, you sell it back to me, and I sell it back to you, and then
we try to grift. We grift somebody outside, like.
Yeah,
I buy from you for 100K, you buy from me for 200, and then we try to sell it to somebody for 50K, and they think, "Wow, what a good deal!"
Yeah, and then
nobody will ever pay them.
Definitely and then they will try to sell again, and then
they're like, "Oh fuck, let me try to sell it for 40K, 30K," and then some other loser buys it for 30K, and they're like, "Oh fuck, let me try to sell it for 20K, 10K."
Yep. I think that's just how an NFT
Well,
works.
this is a pyramid scheme, fucking massive scam.
Yeah.
So how did they steal it?
No idea.
Like, did they hack the
They
accounts, I guess?
right click, save picture.
Yeah.
Save image as, yeah, and then put it to their desktop.
Imagine you pay $150,000 for this, like, fucking Mohawk, like, 8-bit art.
Yeah. I think those monkey are ridiculous. If you're gonna pay, at least pay for some good art.
Well, that's what. Well, that was that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, why not make an NFT like curation?
Yeah.
Where you're actually only allowing good art on your fucking.
Yeah.
I honestly think that unironically, it's a good idea. That if you were to make a curated art gallery for NFTs where it's like high class only.
Yeah, but you have to be credible. So you have to be someone that's at least famous.
I'll just write in my bio, long-term NFT investor, crypto enthusiast, cryptology expert, PhD, mathematics at U of T. You know, nobody will check.
Yeah. I mean, if you
when was the last time you saw somebody, you know, you see their name, you see PhD, and then you try to research if it's true or not? Never.
Yeah, maybe. But
okay. Anything else? Did you have anything that was
nothing really, but yeah, just my personal life. Let's talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, went to get the vaccine.
Oh yeah. Your booster shot.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
Me up.
Yeah.
Fucked me up real bad. My arm still hurts. It's been almost a week.
So what's worse, the vaccine or the COVID?
And I haven't gotten COVID yet because there's barely any cases here in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
So, like, let's see how many cases are there total.
And you're able to get Pfizer 3 times.
Yeah. I had to get it early for the booster because we might run out of Pfizer. See, there's 49 new cases today.
Holy fuck, man, that's a lot. Taiwan population is only 500 people.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, because we only bought 15 million doses of Pfizer. Well, we didn't buy, we got donated by the companies here because Pfizer, well, it's not Pfizer that sells us because we're in the jurisdiction.
Hey, why don't you use the Sinovac?
Our government are against.
Why, man?
No idea. It's such a good vaccine, but basically Pfizer is made by BioNTech.
Yeah.
And like we're supposed to buy from them, but China bought our like
your share.
No, but like our, I guess, distribution rights. So we have to buy from China.
Oh,
like
that's weird.
So they can, because they have a manufacturer of like a vaccine that's contracted with BioNTech, I think. So they can make the Pfizer vaccine, and then they're allowed to sell in like a couple Asian countries, I think.
Yeah.
So they basically bought the rights, and then we were like, we didn't agree to this, but the German side won't sell, and then we were like, well, fuck you, we're not gonna sell you some stuff because you did this, right? And then basically after a long discussion, they compromised, or I guess we compromised by having our company, like, so Foxconn and TSMC,
yeah,
and a charity here bought 5 million doses each, and then donated to our government. Like, it's kind of like a loophole because
because the government they're contracted to not sell to your government, but it's okay to sell to a private business.
Yeah. So the private business bought it
and scammed them.
Yeah, and then so we have 15 million doses, and we also have a lot of Moderna. Moderna, it was just slow to ship to us.
Now, when Xi heard about your like little loophole, how mad do you think he was?
He probably doesn't care.
Really?
They do this kind of stuff all the time. Like they're
like bullying you.
They try to bully us. Like they see airline list Taiwan as a country, they threaten the company, and the company like kneels down. They do this all the time. Like it's a whatever to me because it's just money, right?
Yeah.
And then these people always bow to money, like Disney, like John Cena. Like,
well, see, don't you think that China has actually lost some money because of all their behavior?
They have all the money. They're rich as fuck. And
yeah, but but it's never enough, right? Couldn't they get more money by making the West like them as well?
Easy. That's where that's a trick. When you're China, you get to print your own money.
Oh,
who's gonna stop you, right? Who's gonna stop you?
Mm-hmm.
See, when you get to be when you get to print your own money.
But who prints money faster, China or the U.S.? They got a lot of printers, man.
Dude, J Powell prints a lot of money, so that's the U.S. the guy that prints money. This yeah.
I mean, they've been printing like crazy.
Yeah, it's
money in economics is very peculiar.
It's all a scam.
It's very strange.
That's why. See, I predict nuclear war in the next 30 years. So that's why I plan to
30
die.
years. So we got to do this podcast for 30 years so we can prove whether or not.
No. See, I'm going to die in 25 because that's where our last podcast will be, the podcast.
The podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, but if you die in 25, then you're going to avoid being wrong. About the nuclear war. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
like Jesus Christ or like cryogenic?
More like reincarnation.
Are you going to be the Dalai Lama?
I will be a butterfly, and I will write a letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the plan.
The only other interesting thing I saw this last few days was
the Queen got COVID.
Oh yeah, I saw that this morning.
Do you think the
I mean, she's the queen, so they have a lot of ivermectin, right?
Yeah. Do you think Charles gave her COVID?
Oh, did he get it?
On purpose? I think so. Do you think
he
gave it to her on purpose? Yeah. I think
that's a good assassination plot, huh?
Yeah, it's like.
So how do you think? Okay, so if he wanted to get COVID to give it to the queen, how do you think he would get it? Where would he go?
I mean, just outside, right?
yeah, but like, does he go to a club?
Yeah. I think just go to like the trashiest area where people don't wear masks, and easy.
Maybe go to some Trump rallies.
New version is quite like easy to get.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there's like a conference. I mean, this is old news, but like there's like a conference in like Norway where like 300 people got it or something. Like it spreads like crazy.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not that deadly, so it's kind of a bad plan.
Hey man, why is that a problem? What do you mean it's a problem?
That's well, if the goal is to kill the queen and become the king, that's kind of bad.
Hey man, that's treason.
It's not treason.
That's death penalty material, man.
No, it's not. Like it's just a speed up the transition.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Like once the queen is dead, who's gonna tell you otherwise? You're the fucking king, right?
That's true. That's true.
You're just like, you're against me, you're dead.
So
can they even do that?
So their son.
I think so, right?
Well, I don't think they have like a lot of power anymore.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't their son who married that girl, like, didn't they like leave the family, so he's not going to become king or anything?
I think that's her grandson, right? I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like know much about the royal family.
Yeah, I don't follow.
Yeah, I'm surprised that people care so much about them. Head of
state in Canada, right?
Yeah. But I don't think she like has like used it in like 50 years or something like that.
You know, when you like when the country sues you like against the law, like in the court, like in the U.S. it'll be like the United States against Mr. Nova, right? But in Canada, it'll be the Queen.
Oh, the Queen of England.
Whatever. Yeah,
Damn that
versus you.
fucking bitch.
It's kind of funny because she's still the head of the state.
Yeah, that's sort of like monarchy stuff is very strange.
Do you think she die or no? We should make
from COVID. I think that the medicine to handle COVID has gotten so good recently. I think it's pretty unlikely.
And she's gonna get like antiviral.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's like 100 years old. Isn't she? How old is she?
Yeah, so she's very high risk too. Okay, in 2 weeks, will the Queen die?
Okay, how about better than this? Will the Queen die before Ukraine gets invaded?
No, definitely not. Ukraine's getting invaded in like within a week.
You said that last week, man.
Yeah, but there's like I'm pretty sure they're already getting invaded. But the thing is, it's like who knows if it's a separatist, right?
Okay. So what day is it today? 22nd. So you think by the end of February for sure?
Yes.
Okay. And if you're wrong, what happens? What's the concept? What's the Batsu game? Is that what they call it? What do they call it?
Yeah. The punishment game.
Punishment game, yeah.
I don't know. Ooh.
You have to go to a Taiwanese market and do some Fortnite dances.
No, definitely not. We'll think of something.
Okay.
We'll think.
Only other interesting thing I read was that apparently they were able to use stem cells. This is the scientific segment of the show. You know, we're very intellectual. Apparently they use stem cells.
How long have we been recording?
2:30. I think like 3 hours is good though. I mean, like it depends on what you want.
I think 2:30 is kind of too long too.
You think so?
Yeah,
I kind of like longer
podcasts. I like
podcasts.
the podcast around 1.5 to 2.
Well, the thing is you don't have to listen all the way.
Yeah, I guess.
But they use stem cells, and apparently they're able to cure HIV in patients that had leukemia by like transplanting like their blood cell system. So apparently, if you have leukemia and HIV, they found a way to cure HIV because
you still have leukemia.
Well, I think it cures both or something. I'm not really sure what the fuck it was about, but
so that sounds, I guess.
Like if you have cancer and HIV has destroyed your immune system, then they're able to transplant a whole new blood cell system into your body because you have no immune system. And then the worry is that the complication is that now that new immune system might recognize your entire body as an infection. But other than that, you're cured.
I guess that's if you're willing to take the chance, then
yeah,
I don't see
it's a science segment, man. We got to come up with some good scientific developments.
Yeah. I mean, the immune system is kind of like complicated. Like, I think it's like it's whatever, right? It's nice to have, but it's not like if you only have HIV, then you're gonna.
Well, it's like we try to take these like incremental steps, right? Like first we cure HIV with like somebody with leukemia, then we cure HIV with somebody who doesn't have it. You know,
Can
like
you just give them chemotherapy so they have like basically no immune system, right? Like, isn't that how it works?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're the scientist, man. I'm uneducated. I'm a high school dropout. Okay, don't listen to what I say.
I'm not a scientist.
Nobody should listen to him. Peter is a university-educated chemist, aka a scientist. Meanwhile, I dropped out of high school, dude. I'm a bum. Don't listen to me. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So I guess more of the story, if you have HIV only, time to get cancer.
Yeah, you should do a lot to get leukemia. Now, how do you get leukemia? What are the risks?
Play League of Legends.
Yeah, probably. But I think League of Legends gives you like brain cancer, not leukemia.
I think, you can pray. Like there's chance that you can get it. If you play in low enough elo.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm sure in 5 years, and you ask Aerosol.
Yeah, like what will the cancer rates be? Chance. What will the cancer rates be among League of Legends
players? I think 50-50. Like, if you ask me in 10 years, I would take the bet. 5 years, maybe not. You know, like.
Now, when Russia invades Ukraine, If.
When? It's a when.
Will they call Ukraine Russia? Or will they still call it Ukraine?
We'll call Russia. You didn't see...
So like, let's say 50 years from now, people will not even realize that Ukraine exists.
I mean, they probably will.
Well, that's what I mean. It'll be like a history book, you know?
Yeah.
Like Czechoslovakia, Czech and Slovakia, like, you know, it's like these like countries like
Czechia now or something.
Yeah.
Right? They don't even call it Czech. Yeah. Czech. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's Slavic, Balkans, fucking Baltics. I don't know what all that shit is, man.
Yeah.
We're scientists, not
my
geographers.
Country, not my problem. Don't need to know where it's on the map.
Yeah.
Unless it's USA. USA. It's 4 a.m. here. I'm fucking screaming.
Yeah.
We're not from the USA, both of us.
I am.
Do you have US passport?
I'm native, so technically I could go between Canada, US, and Mexico freely.
Really?
Yeah, there's some like agreement with like Native Americans where like I could be a tri-citizen. It's like a very rare thing, as far as I'm aware. It might be fake news. I might be fake news.
Yeah, but so far you are only Canadian passport, Andy.
Yeah, I don't want it because if you have American citizenship, you have to pay American taxes.
Yeah.
On
Can you
Canadian.
not apply for like non-resident?
No. You have to pay if you have a. Oh, I'm not sure, but as far as I'm aware,
for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for Canada, you can apply for non-resident, like tax exempt, right? So I'm staying in Taiwan.
Yeah, I think the US changed it so that doesn't work anymore because my grandmother was having issues with having to pay US taxes because she was American.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I might be wrong.
I guess it doesn't matter. You can go to US with Canadian
I have
passport.
I have zero income. It's okay. But when the podcast pops off, I don't want the US government to make me fund wars in Iraq.
Yeah, but if I were you, I would rather give up Canadian passport and become a US citizen when I'm rich.
I'd rather live in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Not to disparage any particular country or its people, but I'd rather live in Canada.
Really?
Just not Ottawa.
You get to shoot people in the US.
Yeah, it's okay. I can shoot people in game. I can shoot people in Valorant.
Yeah, but you see, when you see people like Aerithal in your game, and once you finish the game, you get to drive to his house and shoot him. Right? Isn't that
hypothetically?
Yeah. Well, or you can shoot him in game.
In game.
Right.
Drive to his house and shoot him in game. Connect to his Wi-Fi and shoot him in game.
Yeah, for sure.
I see.
I think US is pretty great. I like US.
You're a fanboy.
Well, yeah. I think people shit on it a lot for how decent it is. Like, I'm not saying it's the best. Obviously, there's way better countries out there.
Like
and
Canada.
Their healthcare system is garbage.
Yeah, you do die on the street.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of problems with the US, but I think it's way over exaggerated for how okay it is.
Okay, well, you go live in the US and tell me how it is.
I'm not. Well, I guess. But
go live in the US, but not with your family's money.
Yeah. So I'll be living on the street, smoking meth. Great life.
Yeah. I mean, the homeless, they build some like really big like encampments. They get some tents, like they make a whole little mini city.
Yeah.
Do you think they have a shop? Do you think they have a shopkeeper?
Probably. And they play Valorant IRL there.
What about like an alchemist?
Well,
you know, somebody that's like mixing the drugs.
Make meth.
Yeah.
To say. Yeah. Like meth lab. Their lab is probably more
advanced than Harvard's.
Yeah. It's like the money making machine, right?
Yeah.
So it's very well protected. You know, you never played GTA 5? You see the fucking meth labs?
That's true.
They kill people for it.
When's GTA 6? They need to stop like making DLC for the online GTA 5 and actually make a new game.
GTA 5 single player is such a great game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish Rockstar would make their games harder. But other than that, they're pretty fun.
But I think it's just fun. The story, I think it's just...
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
It's very fun.
I mean, Red Dead I thought was good. I think Bully is actually their best game.
What?
Bully?
Bully?
Yeah, you never played Bully?
I think I watched someone play. Is it
you're like a high school bully. You're like a bully in school, and there's like...
Oh, yeah. I seen some people play.
When I was in grade 5, that game came out, maybe grade 4. And my teacher, first generation SJW. And she made us write a letter. Every student had to write a letter to Rockstar, saying that we think Bully's a bad game, bad influence. You know, it promotes bullying. It's very harmful. All this.
That's all. I seen the clip of someone play that game, and in the geography class, there's Taiwan on the map.
Oh fuck!
You have to put it on there.
Is that game banned in China?
And well, there's also China. It's a separate country.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do you think the game was banned in China?
Probably. I don't think GTA is even allowed. There's too much blood, too much killing, too much drug.
Wait, they don't let violent games be released in China?
I don't think so.
Oh fuck! What about like Mortal Kombat?
A lot of stuff.
There's no Mortal Kombat.
If there is, it's definitely censored.
Oh yeah.
They don't allow skeletons.
Do they allow like blue blood instead of red blood?
No, I think you just have no blood.
Damn. Even if you get decapitated.
It probably
throw you into a meat grinder and it's
pixelated.
Just like no screaming, no animation.
Yeah, probably pixelated. Okay. We should probably end, but there's another.
Sure. Yeah, come on, this is the outro. Do you remember our signature way to end the podcast?
No.
Bye.
I already forgot. Oh, bye. Yeah, bye.